rolling, we will get it rolling.
You said we're going straight to talking here.
We're going straight to talking. Everybody, welcome to Tuesday night's edition of the show here at Fish North, Georgia. We thank you for tuning in and joining us on this rainy Tuesday night here in the great city of Marble Hill.
Come on.
Yes, right. There you go. And on with the show, Freddie Haley. Absolutely. So, guys, we appreciate you tuning in and look forward to talking the next couple hours about largemouth bass. You know, around here in North Georgia, the spotted bass gets all the love with all the lakes around here, but we still have a very good population of largemouth bass. And a lot of guys like to fish them in, you know, the smaller reservoirs and the ponds and stuff like that. So we're gonna talk largemouth tonight.
We fish them on the big lakes too.
You catch them on the big lakes, absolutely. But we're gonna try to put a little emphasis just on the fish itself and some techniques and stuff that we're doing. And again, I hope everybody's got their questions ready and their comments for the star-studded panel that I have surrounded myself with tonight. But we got a lot of things to get to. But let's take care of business. And as always, this episode is brought to you by State Farm and the Cassidy Agency. You know, State Farm, not only do they do, you've heard me say it, not only do they do the home and the auto and stuff like that, but also they take care of us anglers with their personal articles policy. You've heard me say it. You need to get your gear. That's right, your gear insured. What are we looking at? Yeah, you need to get your gear insured right there with
well, that's the original.
Against theft. Yes, right. Against theft. We'll get with that. Against theft and against you done ruined my whole monologue right here. You made me laugh right there, Tankersley. Come on. What's wrong with you? My friends at State Farm at the Cassidy Agency. Put that back up there. Right there. Guys, listen. Again, let me go. Personal article policy. We're talking about your rods, your equipment, your sonars. What else? What am I missing there, Blake?
Kayaks,
you're smiling at
rods, reels,
kayaks,
grass,
everything. You
trailers,
name it.
Tires.
That's right. You name it.
Everything.
You name it.
You called State Farm yet?
Have you called? Why have you not called
You're
State
a big
Farm?
wig now.
You know who you need to call?
Mr. Bass Motors.
You need to call Chase Epley at 678-779-7269 and get you a quote today to protect all your rods and all your stuff.
You
like
get
that.
mad and you snap a rod. Free rod, baby.
That's right. So actually,
rod.
what we're going to do is we're going to check with Chase over the next week, and we're going to see if he got a call from you.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to do that. Just
Brother-in-law, man. Send us some business. Come on.
So anyway, where do we go, Paul? I done lost my screen. There we go. We're back. All right. So anyway, going to do this one time tonight. If you are joining us on Facebook or the Facebook group page, make sure you go to StreamYard.com/Facebook and enter your name so that when your comment pops up, we can address you by your name. And so Cooper McDonald, hey, buddy, nice meeting you the other day. Cooper came up to the store and got to meet him. And so we appreciate you coming by, dude. I appreciate you watching. He is a big fan of the show. Chris Taylor's here. Jeremiah, the champ, apparently the self-proclaimed champ of fishing is here. And Dusty Diamond, all you guys, seriously, how you guys doing tonight? And stay tuned and let's talk. What are we laughing at? Giggling going on behind the screen. I don't like that.
What?
Yeah, what? Now it's gonna be a long night for you, Buchanan. I'm watching you. So, all right. Anyway, so let me introduce my guest tonight. All right. So to my left, who apparently called my family and wanted to know what color hat I was wearing, so he could be more like me.
Damn, that is creepy.
It is very creepy.
Oh, y'all are wearing the same hat.
We
Damn,
are.
I just realized that.
Oh,
you
well,
can see
colorblind.
that.
I haven't been paying attention.
What's up, Mike Smith? You just now finally.
I just realized that.
You just realized it. Anyway, Justin Speece is here. How are you, Justin?
Good, man. How's everybody doing tonight?
Well, I'm doing good.
Get a different hat, man. I can't even look at and I'm taking credit because this is what was sent to me.
Well, that was sent to you. I was given my hat, and I actually got a choice. I got to pick. I picked green.
Get stuff for free. Where are we at? I mean, we got some cheese curds.
You got some cheese curds. We got in my refrigerator. And what's up, Brian Baker and Boss Man? Boss Man is watching in Memphis tonight. How you doing, Boss Man? That's awesome. So, anyway, you're here. In a little bit, we're going to talk. You're going to stay the whole time. We're going to talk fishing, but you're going to talk about the Fishing for Warriors tournament update here that you're putting on here in a little bit. It's coming up real quick. This fact's coming up this weekend. That's Saturday. So we're going to have a little bit of update from you and across at an angle from me. Yeah, I hope you're in a good mood tonight, Mr.
I'm ready to go.
Ready to go, Blake Buchanan.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. All right, good. There you go. Blake's ready because we're talking largemouth. That's why.
Hey, I've been waiting for this one for a while.
Yeah. All right, and then across from me with the hair coming forward. I ain't figured out how. I still ain't figured out.
Forwards.
It's going. Yeah.
Hey,
backwards. Like he drove here the whole time backwards.
With that window down.
With the window down, he's got his head out.
Ace Ventura
Look at his hair. His hair is going. Is that the Bieber?
No, I mean that's just
That's
the
just you.
Tankersley.
That's the Dalton.
yeah.
All right, so Dalton Tankersley
We're
is
gonna
here.
see
So,
see a mullet here in a couple months.
and we're gonna, yeah, I bet we are.
yeah,
And one of the reasons I asked you to come down is because you've been catching a lot of big largemouth here lately, have you not?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
I guess you
yeah.
could say so.
I saw you
Always.
down in Florida.
Yeah, that was fun.
with the
That
big
was fun.
boys.
He was down there in
enjoyed
Florida,
that.
so yes,
I didn't want to come home.
I bet, considering all the
Yeah.
fish I was seeing you hold
Who
up.
wants to come back and catch spots?
Let's see. Kevin Chadwick said as long as you're not going to do the poetic reading tonight, you'll be happy. And the video is blurry on YouTube, so
We do only have one bar of internet.
well, you know
Thanks,
what?
TDS. Everybody call out TDS, tell them how bad.
That's
they
right.
are.
It is.
Just
It
go
is
ahead and tell
raining.
Tell
It is raining. here
Yeah,
at
I mean,
Marble Hill.
if the wind blows hard enough at Marble Hill, our Wi-Fi goes out.
Yeah, so we'll do our best, but if not, just picture us as 4 good-looking guys down here just talking. How about that? One good-looking guy and 3 others.
What?
Huh? What? You want me one more time? I'm gonna stab you. Hey, listen. And while I got it too,
Show them stickers.
these stickers.
Show
I'm
them
proud of
stickers.
this sticker.
That's awesome.
Gotta get close up. The Adventures of Pork Taco. Look at this, guys, right here. You see that?
You need that on that Phoenix one.
Yeah.
You need this on the side. Every one of you guys that are in the pit crew that are watching tonight up on lately there, you need you an Adventure of Pork Taco right here sticker for the side of your $90,000 boat.
Dude, I love that. I ain't
This
gonna
is-
lie.
This
love it.
was designed by his wife and his daughter, correct, Matt?
Yes.
And so this is awesome. But anyway, he is, of course, you guys have seen him. It's awesome, and he brought us some. So we got one on the door. I'm gonna put it on the back of my computer, stuff like that.
great.
So is the hook?
Hookhead reading tonight.
The hookhead is not reading the lyrics tonight. The guy, actually, though, I got one even better right here. The guy who stole my hat is reading tonight. Now, why does Danny get to wear the green hat? Tell the world why Danny gets to wear the green hat.
Danny, don't get to wear the green
He
hat.
gets-
You're privileged tonight. I'll let it go.
It is
Ooh.
because it accentuates my green eyes.
Who told you that?
I told me that when I put it on this morning. I
Something
said,
tells
boy,
me
my
Big
green eyes look
self-esteem
good.
right there.
He's reading Women's Day, like, oh, find fashion and shirts that match your eye color to really make them.
Sounds like The Rock.
The Rock.
You know what else is green? You ever get like a 3 or 4 year old baby? They take a good healthy one in the diaper. That's green too. You gonna say that matches your eyes?
No,
just-
that's a different shade of green.
No, it
All of
ain't.
a sudden, I don't like you no more,
My-
Speece.
My kid is shit and it's been as green as that hat. That's the truth. That ain't a lie. That's
All
the
right, so
truth.
Jeremiah said the video quality is kind of low, though. Not gonna lie. Well, guys, listen. Hey, we're sorry.
Everybody call out TDS.
TDS. It
Tell 'em
is
to
what it
fix their
is. So it is one of those things. One of them nights. So you can pop over on Facebook. Maybe it's clearer there. I don't know. But anyway, real quick. Any quick tips on Brushy Branch? For those that don't know, that's up off the Coosa River, coming out of Rome. You ever fished it?
I haven't.
I have fished it. Have you ever fished it, Blake?
When is it, a reservoir?
No. It's kind of like what I would call
Like electric only?
no. It's kind of like a burr. What do they call a bow lake, or what do they call it when they come off side of a river? Oxbow. That's that fancy word. It's like an oxbow lake.
I imagine it being off Coosa. It's probably full of spots.
It has got spots. It definitely does. Actually, I'll tell you what. 2 things that I know of, and if anybody
Probably
else
dirty
can
water.
chime in, it's probably dirty water. But if there's current in the river, the spots are going to be hitting. And the only other stuff, it's probably our connection, Joseph. The only other thing I can give you is Josh and I went way up a creek one time, and we got into some spots throwing Texas rig. Finally, we couldn't get nothing to hit, and finally got into some spots. But we were way, way, way up one of the creeks before you get out there. So again, that is what it is. I do not have all the money, and where the head's at. I have no idea of what farmer's talking about.
Largemouth head, son.
Listen, I'm old.
Well, I could have told you that.
It's like catfishing. Again, I thought catfishing was when you stuck some chicken liver and stuff out and you went fishing.
That is
You young
catfishing.
got, well, no, now it means something different. You young people have changed the name to everything. That has something to do
The whole fake profile.
fake
Oh,
profile
yeah.
and stuff like that. So when somebody says where's the heads at, I don't know. I hadn't called them like that. So big Cedar Stripe gonna start running out of Brushy. I have no idea what that means, but it sounds good.
Stripers.
Okay, stripers. There you go. All right, so big heads, everybody. So anyway, you
Get
guys
with
got
the
to know.
program.
Listen, it's been a long day now. So
You say that every podcast.
Because I'm
every
here.
week.
Start
like
putting
8
a
o'clock.
dollar in the jar.
every podcast.
Every podcast. It's been a long day.
I'm glad I'm sober tonight, boys. No, seriously.
What?
I'm tired, man.
What?
I'm getting old. If you say what again, I'm gonna stab you. I really am. So let's get on this.
Size 16 boot.
Let's my size 16 boots are gonna stab you. So anyway,
16 day, baby.
whatever that rock
God,
is, or
watch some WWF. Dang, you're old. You're back in the glory days.
back in the glory
Yeah,
days
but
was
see,
Tommy
back-
Wildfire Rich and Mr. Wrestling #1, #2, and the Superstar.
Okay,
Yeah,
Hulk Hogan.
It was before Hulk Hogan.
Well, that ain't wrestling.
As back when on Channel
Snuka
17
Superfly.
you watched it with Gordon
what?
Soley.
Jimmy Snuka.
Oh, that pillhead.
Jimmy Snuka, that's the one that jumped off the top ring,
That's the
right?
one who killed his girlfriend or whatever.
Well, didn't half of them do that anyways?
True.
Being
True. Back then,
All
yeah.
right, so we absolutely ain't talking nothing about largemouth bass fishing. We're talking about the WW, whatever it is you guys watch and the good stuff that I watch. And while we're at it, did you grow up watching wrestling?
No, I did not.
What'd you grow up watching?
Fishing and hunting.
Fishing and hunting?
Yeah.
You look like
SpongeBob
you'd be.
every now and then.
Hey, you know, he
Oh.
looked like he'd be. He looks like he'd be a good wrestler back in the day. Stick
Did
him
you
in.
wrestle in high school?
No.
You didn't wrestle?
Oh, damn, I guess I was the only one.
You wrestled?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna tell you what I think about that. So anyway, all right. Danny has can of pork brains under the table for Blake acting up. Actually, no, I'm gonna take it easy on Blake tonight. We're gonna give him the free pass tonight. The man with the green hat's gonna be doing the poetic song reading tonight. And it's going to be a good one, guys. So I hope you appreciate it. So Joseph Castleberry, largemouth was holding on rock Sunday shallow. It's about that time of year for the largemouth to be moving up. If you smell what the rock is cooking. Yeah, there we go.
Shit.
How about you've been, recently here in North Georgia? We'll talk about your Florida trip. You've been doing any largemouth fishing at all?
I mean, yeah, it's time.
It's time to get after
I think
it, ain't
the
it?
water's warmed up a little too fast.
Right?
I mean, I went out on Blue Ridge, and within a week's time, the water went from 48 to 58.
That quick.
That's a big change for them. So it's going to take them a little while to settle down. But I seen somebody comment earlier, they're seeing fish on bed, and I can definitely believe it because I mean the water's already in the 60s. So
Just got to find them. I looked real hard. Real hard.
You look real hard.
I think
Yes.
a lot of them aren't ready. I
Mm-mm.
mean, a lot of the lakes are still low. The
thought
water
it-
just now hit 60. So
The lake being low is helping. I know there's some spots that I checked the other day that fish are. They wasn't even cruising the other day.
No.
I caught a bunch of largemouth the other day, but it wasn't the way we thought we was going to be able to catch them. I thought we was going to be able to go down the bank, see them cruising, but it wasn't that.
no,
But
it's like Joseph said, shallow rock, brush, docks, all that. I mean, they're there. They're just not going to make that move back yet.
you can catch them. Just because you don't see them don't mean
Oh,
they
yeah.
ain't there. They're there. They're waiting.
Now, see, I don't know how old Real Dog is, but he's my age. So look at that. Paul Song and Mr. Wrestling #2 at the Bell Auditorium in Augusta. Good times. And that's what I grew up on now. I watched with my great granny it was like on Sunday afternoons. That's all she would watch she had to watch to see who got their mask pulled off. It was either going to be the Superstar or Mr. Wrestling #1 or #2. So there are a lot on the beds.
Where you at, Beasley?
That would be, yeah, that's nice. No, and so,
Yeah, I mean, like Jesse was catching them down at Eufaula on bed.
yeah.
That's a little different.
A little farther south.
Yeah.
It is. But now I would imagine it's like everything. You've got some that are up early. There's some that are
Yeah,
still
of
staging.
course.
Some ain't even thought about it yet.
Yeah, there's some still sitting on the secondary.
A lot
place.
of 90% of the ones I'm catching right now are all pre-spawn.
Yeah.
Okay, but we're still talking largemouth. We ain't
Yeah.
talking about the spots.
We ain't talking no
we ain't no
spots.
spots
Yeah.
tonight. So good. I want to make sure. So,
The hell, things.
well, let me ask you this, because all of us now, and you fished a lot from the bank pond. I wonder, are the pond fish as ready
I
as the
assume
reservoir
they're
fish?
probably ahead.
Yeah, they're
And
ahead.
those warm
Pond-
days we had, they're definitely ahead. I don't know where Jeremiah's fishing, but he said that he caught some on bed yesterday, and I believe if it's small water for sure, a lot of those fish are ready, if not already there.
Yeah,
Well, because you're talking about a smaller pond that's going to heat up quicker.
for sure.
Okay, so north end of Lanier last Saturday at Varner.
Yeah.
Our tournament was won with bedding fish, and that's something to think about too, because we with the elites we were at hard labor.
Where's
which-
that at?
As the crow flies, not too far from Varner.
Where's Varner?
Varner, oh goodness, social circle down.
You better be bed fishing.
Probably so. Found most of the largemouth about 3/4 of the way back in the pockets and creeks on Notley, Allatoona, and Oconee.
Yeah. They're
All
staged.
were staging. So I tell you what, let's do this. Why don't you, since you're going to be our resident expert tonight, you two, we're going to be the good looking guys and y'all are going to be the experts. Why don't you tell everybody what staging is?
That's just like what I was saying a minute ago. They're going to stage on rocks. They're going to stage on
Docks.
a lay down.
Well, what is staging?
Staging is where they're pulled up and they're waiting for the the weather to be right. Basically, the sun to heat up. Well, the sun's really heating it up. They're basically waiting until fish are kind of like a buck deer, the way I see it. You know, you got them younger bucks. They're like, oh, I'll start chasing them does.
Yeah.
Them does ain't even in heat yet. Same way with some of them smaller largemouth. They're going to pull up, but them big females, they're going to be sitting there like that big old buck. They're like, this ain't time. I need about another week, about another 3-4 days.
Which,
as he stated.
Well, let's see. Varner used to have all the monster largemouth back in the day. Here's something though. You said weather. I've heard it several times over the last couple of weeks and reading about this and all, that a lot of people think the amount of sunlight or photoperiodism has as much to do, if not more to do than anything with when a bass goes on bait.
And that's like, if you look at the forecast next week, we're going to get 30-degree weather again.
Right.
So those fish are, they're not going to be.
They're not going to be sitting on bed. A lot of people think them fish is going to go back out.
No, they won't.
They're going to stay right there where they're at.
They'll stay, but that's why, a lot of your fish haven't pulled all the way up yet. I mean, we got like 4 or 5 days of good warm weather, and I could believe, for sure fish coming up and spawning then, but a lot of them are going to sit back and wait for the weather to get right. So.
Okay, so how about this? Let's do this. Let's just say right now you were to go find the fish on bed, and for no other reason, you just want to catch fish. How are you going to target that bed fish? What are you targeting it with?
White Z-crawl flipping.
You going to flip a Z-crawl in there?
White. Anything. I'm going to flip a white Z-crawl, or I'm going to flip the salty tube by Strike King.
Okay, what about you?
I try to stay back. Like I said before, I'll fish a lot with a topwater just to kind of search and bait. And a lot of times if that fish is ready, it'll for sure eat it. But as far as if I see one, I'm going to flip in there. At first, I'll start with something I can see good to see how the fish is going to react, like a white swim jig or a white crawl. If they're a little sketchy, then I'll go to something more natural, like a lizard, or it's hard to beat a Cinco. I mean, that's
wacky.
If you're in an area where the fish is not around heavy cover, I'm going to throw a Cinco.
Okay,
for sure.
What about you there, Speece?
Pretty much same thing. Thrown jig with some kind of creature
Gotcha.
on it.
Now.
You gonna wacky rig your Cinco?
Yeah, for sure.
So you're wacky rigging it.
Yeah.
Now
they're eating that right now.
I still
they're chewing everywhere right now.
Yeah, they are chewing. I still think that and
here we go.
Well, what am I gonna say?
What?
A Ned rig.
A Ned rig.
Yeah, you can't
a Ned rig is one of the most deadly.
You better turn that drag down.
You got to listen. You got to play it. You got to play
you
big
gotta
girl
play
out
it.
of it. There's no doubt
The
about
only
it.
bad thing about that is that light wire hook.
You got to play
it
it.
bends them out, son. You
gotta
snap the things
play
in half.
it. Now listen.
I like my 20-pound fluoro.
I like to
jig.
jerk them.
What does a guy need to throw different to catch largemouth? And we're gonna say, I suppose,
we're gonna talk about that here soon. But I mean, it's
we'll get to that. Here
it's not what you're throwing different.
It's where.
It's where and how you're targeting them. I can take the same bait and go catch spots all day long, and I can run right up the river or wherever I want to go, and I'm gonna be able to target largemouth with it. But people don't. They overthink largemouth fishing, especially on these spotted bass lakes. Don't overfish it or don't overthink it.
Right.
But people think, oh man, I've got to go up here and throw this massive glide bait, or I've got to throw this massive worm, or
you got to go back to the basics. You got to find the cover. You got to find the down timber. You got to find, I don't want to say perfectly clear water, but you want a slight tint to it.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's like Joseph said, jerkbait. I mean, you can definitely target largemouth with a jerkbait.
Especially when those things are post spawn and they come up around the docks, and you rip a jerkbait down the side of a dock.
If the water's clear, I don't throw one as much, just because when you let that thing sit there, they got a lot of time to look at it.
Right.
But if you got a little dirty water, then for sure jerkbait's phenomenal.
What do you think about? Okay, let's talk a little bit about what. And I don't know if these two watched it, but I'm sure some of you guys are watching it, and you and I talked about it upstairs. A lot of us watched local pro Jesse Millsap. And I'm not gonna butcher. It's a national professional fishing league. The professional
NPF or something.
Yeah, so we watched him. Now I was up here watching him Friday. I believe it was Friday, and so he had a buck on and a big girl on the bed, and he was flipping a white swim jig in there. And we noticed something interesting, and we talked about it, that a lot of people have always thought catch the buck, and then go after her or
Yeah.
whatever. Now he did it opposite. He was, tell everybody what he was letting the buck do with his swim jig.
He was actually letting the buck get really aggressive and carry the swim jig out of the bed, and that would trigger the female. When she seen him get aggressive and leave the bed, that made her want to come over there and take over. And I'd actually never done it that way, but I could see where that would work very well.
See, I've done it a time or two, especially with some of the bigger ones on Lanier that's been messed with already.
Right.
I've got to the point I can pull up to a bedfish and I can tell if she's been messed with.
Yeah.
If you start getting close, she's gonna swim off. But I've done that. Get the male off the bed, not catch him, but get him off the bed.
Right.
Pitch in there and catch her. Because if he runs off with something, she's gonna come up there. And if you get back in there and you can get her to turn, she's going to be caught. But the buck is going to come back up there and start nosing her right back off.
Yeah, but that was what was interesting was the fact that he was the camera guy, whoever the camera guy was, kudos to him.
Job.
You could see in the water the buck bring it off, and you could hear Jesse talking through the whole thing. It was pretty neat, and he'd flip it back in there. But you said something that I heard him say a lot. She had to turn.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
She has to turn and hit that right way.
And you hit them and this is the thing. I know there's a lot of guys out there, they foul hook them when they can't catch them. It can happen. I've done it with tubes by accident. I'm trying to hit them on the side, or hit them in the face. If you've got one, say you've thrown past the bed and she's sitting, what would this be? Diagonal? No, horizontal. If you're bringing your bait and you're trying to hit her in the face, I'd say about 7 to 8 times out of 10, if you hit her in the mouth, she's going to open up. She's going to hit it. And if you hit them on the side, she's going to whirl around on it. If you've got one whirling around, that fish is ready to be caught.
Yeah.
You can catch whirling, mouthing it, or anything like that. They're ready to be
link to the video. I tell you what, I don't know. I have to see.
If you look up Jesse Millsaps on Facebook, he shared it.
Did he share it?
Yeah.
Is it on his Facebook?
Yeah, it's the final day of that. It's like 5 hours long.
Oh,
but
so he shared the whole thing?
Yeah.
He was on. Yeah, he had the camera in the boat the whole day.
His section is within the first 30 minutes of that deal.
Yeah.
Where you're going to want to see what we're talking about.
And he finally does nail her, but she got off.
Yeah.
I mean, he finally got her to commit. He set the hook. But it was interesting. If you get a chance after this show or tomorrow and you watch the video, listen to Jesse talk, because he's basically talking to the camera guy, but he's teaching the whole time. He's telling you what he's trying to do. And yeah, that's it right there. Yeah, Jesse Millsap's got an E on the back, not Jesse. There you goes. But it's good stuff, and it's pretty cool. He does have some kind of patience because he worked that fish.
Oh yeah, for hours.
I mean, seriously. Now he ended up.
A fish like that with that much money on the line. You do work.
He started the day 10th. He dropped back a little bit, but he come back strong and finished 10th. So I mean, he had a very good showing down there.
That's like Jeremiah said. I agree with that. But the only thing that scares me with that, those fish can throw that big bait quick at that close a distance and stuff like that.
Oh, you're talking about the big bluegill swim bait?
Yeah. That's awesome. That like he's saying, that'll trigger one. But
if I'm gonna throw a swim bait on one, it's gonna be a single hook.
What's up, Matt? Well, that's what. Listen, and I know y'all said that, but that's why I like throwing the Ned rig, because they engulf it. They just, I mean, it's back there. Now, when you hook them, it's back there. Now, again, granted, you got to fight, light wire, all that stuff. Everything you say is true.
If you're fishing a big tournament, she engulfs that thing into her stomach, and she's bleeding.
What do you want me to do?
That's the thing you risk.
I'm gonna weigh her in.
There's some tournaments don't allow dead fish, Danny.
Oh yeah, but the ones I do.
Well, it's true, I guess.
I guess it depends, but honestly, no. I think seriously, if you got one and you're just bound and determined to get it to bite, it won't bite anything else. If you take a green pumpkin Ned rig and you put it in the middle of that thing, it's not imposing on them either. It doesn't scare them as much. They'll go foot up and move it. What? Okay. So.
Yeah, I mean, he's talking about where they're making those big circles, and that fish is not locked on yet.
She ain't ready to bite. Really.
But I have seen in some situations, every bed, whether it's this big or this big,
right,
there's a sweet spot.
Mm-hmm.
And you can notice when you get in that fish's bed sweet spot that she will come from 5-6 foot away and push that bait out, eat it, whatever. And it is very hard to catch them like that. I agree with what he's saying. 9 times out of 10, you're not going to catch them because she's not locked on. But
if I'm fishing a tournament and I have one doing that, I'm leaving that fish.
Yeah,
I will not mess with.
You're gonna have to spend a lot of time.
That comment, get that Mountain Dew, those for bleeding down there. Talking about the bleeding in the gills
I use
right
Red
there.
Bull.
Does Red Bull really work?
it
Listen,
works.
we sell some stuff up there
Yeah.
that's made for that
Hey,
stuff. Fish
yeah,
carrier.
I
Y'all
know.
can.
I use that stuff. It's good.
Hey,
So when
Red
you ain't
Bull.
got that and you got one bleeding.
It's only a half pound deduction. That's right. There you go. It's only a half pound deduction.
Hey, if you got bleeding fish, check out a pure oxygen system. I've caught a lot of fish that are bleeding like hell, throw them on top of my air stone, and
Get him on that. Oh, a
Great.
Nico rig.
My question is,
Yep.
it's only a half pound, but for you, that's what, half your bag weight?
Listen. All right, that's plenty fair. I cannot listen. I
See, look,
cannot. I
Mac
cannot
knows
say,
what he's talking about.
throw that whopper plopper
Yeah.
on her and she'll bite.
Yeah.
Yeah, she will.
Yeah.
I can't say nothing. That's true here lately.
That's
we're
one of
struggling.
the best bed fishing search baits there is.
A whopper plopper.
Yeah.
Get out of
I'm
here.
serious.
Search
they can't
bait.
stand it. Yeah.
It's annoying.
throw buzz bait and pull them off.
I'm
Stuff,
just
too.
telling you right now.
Buzzbait, whopper plopper.
Listen,
they
Did
can't stand
you throw one of the
Throw a daggum Ned rig in there.
what they
pull
call
her
it? They call it them missiles or the prop baits down there in Florida. Did you catch a lot on that?
Yeah, we caught some on it, but they were already off bed down there.
Oh, really? It was
They were
done,
all a lot of fish were post spawn. There was a few fish on bed. Like I said, we fished for one that day in the tournament, but
Yeah.
I mean the water was already in the high 70s. Mid
In
to high
Florida?
70s, yeah.
Good
Yeah.
Lord.
So a lot of those fish that we were catching were post spawn.
How about this? Let's see. Mike Smith down there. Football jig, shaky head jig, or Arky, which is the best and why? And what type of trailer are you putting on?
Those are all three different baits you're using for different scenarios.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm throwing a jig, 9 times out of 10, I'm throwing it on an Arky head.
Yeah. I'll throw a football.
You can
head.
skip it. Arky, you can skip it. Arky's just the best all around.
Yeah, if you're
head.
gonna skip fish brush like that. Now football,
Rocks.
or I'll fish football
Ledges.
on ledges.
Ledges because it's
Like
it's
Tennessee
weight
River
and
stuff,
Yeah,
yeah.
How about this football from the bank? Is that hard to do?
Depending on where you're at. I mean, if you're in a rocky area, yes and no, but that's where it's going on map studying, knowing what's there, knowing what features you have.
Right.
If you're just on Lanier, if you're on a clay bank or something like that, you're really not going to want to throw. You're going to want to throw, just more of a flipping jig head with a trailer. But with the football jig, if I'm on like a deep ledge or something, yeah.
Yeah. That makes sense. Now, shaky head, of course, to me, let's do this. Let's go ahead and let's talk about the football jig and the Arky, and then we're going to hit the shaky head separately. And we're targeting largemouth with these baits. Now, I can remember back in the day, we were throwing the big old pig and jig back in the day. We had the big old piece of pork that we stuck on the back
if
of that
you can
thing.
find them things, they're still just as good as what
Listen,
they are.
I liked them. I mean, just to be quite honest, I
them.
remember that, and
Get done
especially
fishing with them, stick them back in the jar.
stick them back in the jar. That's
where
it.
they don't dry up.
And if you better not leave it on there,
Yeah.
they're hard to get
Yeah,
off if you left it on there. But let's just say we're gonna target largemouth right now with a football jig. Right now,
I wouldn't be doing it on Lanier right now. Maybe up on Chick or Tennessee River Lake, but I'm not going to throw a football jig on Lanier or any mountain lakes right now. I'm going to be throwing Arky head because I'm wanting to fish cover and docks. I'm wanting to skip under the nastiest docks, wanting to get in some of the nastiest brush. I feel like football jig.
It's too heavy right now.
No, I mean, you can get a lot of football jigs.
Yeah, unless you're fishing like a rocky point or something.
Yeah.
Like Joseph said earlier, he's catching some largemouth on shallow rock. And even that, I mean, you
can use an Arky if
right now, I'm not going to be strictly fishing shallow rock. Like you said, you're going to be docks, trees, so you can get by with the Arky head.
Okay, yeah.
And when we're talking docks, guys, I mean, me and Dalton was talking about this earlier. You're not fishing the docks that are in 20-foot water. You're getting in the very back of these pockets. It's going to be 10 foot or less, I'd say. And the nastier the dock, I mean, if this thing looks like it's 100 years old falling in the water, you fish that damn thing to death.
You got to pay attention to the floats as well.
Yep.
I know on a lot of them, you don't hardly see them at all anymore, but the old docks with the styrofoam.
It heats up and all that.
Styrofoam's nowhere near as good as the black floats.
Nope, they don't get hot.
I very rarely will catch a fish on a dock with styrofoam floats.
Okay, all right.
So, it doesn't heat up as quick.
It doesn't heat up as quick. So you're saying it needs the black floats.
Yeah.
Needs the black. Okay. All right. So
the black's going to heat up a lot quicker.
But are you using, let's just say we're with the Arky, are you using a crawl type bait right now on the trailer? We're going with just a smaller profile, or are we getting big right now?
I like to go bigger, to be honest.
Right now?
You're looking at like a crawl. Now, like the twin tail and stuff, I like to use that in the winter. It's got a little less action. But right now, it's getting warmer. I like to give something that's got a lot more action to it.
We start getting into like the bugs and those kind of things, the
Or
beaver
like
tails or whatever they call them.
Like you say, the big chunks and stuff like that.
The big zoom chunks right now is real
there
good.
was a tournament on Oconee, the BFL on Oconee this past weekend, and I know the guy that won it was throwing a big half-ounce jig with a big chunk on the back.
Stroking.
Yeah, exactly. That thing's going to move a lot when he's hopping that jig up and down. And
that's one thing about them zoom chunks, guys. Those legs, I mean, just as fast as you can move constantly. They don't stop.
Okay.
And when that thing's sinking, it's just doing this right here.
Michael Temples, I'll get to your question here in a second. Pull that one up you want for Josh Tatum. You can't beat a backwater slew for largemouth, shaky head, and a black zoom trickworm. Yeah. No, I mean, that's a good combination right now. Definitely like that. So Jesse is there. Jesse is tuned in.
Jesse, we loved watching you, man.
I thought it was interesting, man. And when I'm telling you, when it got off, I wanted to cry.
Maybe get him back up here and let him talk all about it.
Well, we can do that. I'm sure Jesse wouldn't mind coming back up there. It was very interesting. I was just telling everybody about they needed to listen to you because when you were after that buck and that 5-pounder on the bed, first of all, you're a very patient man. And second of all, you talked it and the way you worked it and everything, and you were kind of teaching it, talking to the cameraman, telling everybody what you were doing. I thought that was pretty cool. And let me go ahead and say hello to Tatum, to the Fish North Georgia nurse, and right there. Yeah, that's right. So hello, babe. And again, go back up to Michael Temples, if you don't mind.
There's Bar Day.
Bar Day's in the house. Good. Man. Yeah. He had a question. Like right now, if you were going to target, we done missed it, but I think the question was if you're going to target largemouth right now, specifically.
Yeah.
Specifically. My goodness, it's late. Specifically.
What?
I like y'all both suck. Y'all both suck. What baits do you need to fish? And I guess that depends on the that depends on the lake. So
the watercolor.
I'm telling you right now, you're not gonna catch a largemouth on like
Carter's.
Well, Carter's, that's what I'm saying. You're going to have to use a little bit different tactic on Carter's, I would say.
If you find one.
If you can find one. But like if we're going to hard labor Saturday.
I don't know nothing about
hard labor is basically a 1,200 acre, 1,100 acre reservoir.
Probably slap full of largemouth, right?
Slap full of largemouth.
Well, what I'd be doing, I'd be throwing a Texas rig with a 12-inch old monster.
Yeah.
Either there's a bluegill color that Zoom makes. Sungill. I'd be throwing a sungill. Looks like a bluegill imitation.
Right.
Black and blue.
Yeah.
They throwing a jig like me and Dalton are saying.
Yeah.
If it's a little stain, pick up a jerkbait. If there's some cruising, get them in front of them, catch them on jerkbait when they're cruising, or wacky rig. Those are about the 5 baits I'd be throwing all day on largemouth lake.
And what about you? How about spinnerbait? Spinnerbait ain't coming into town right now?
They're in right now. I didn't have no luck on one the other day, though.
I mean, a lot of the lakes that I'm fishing right now are still crystal clear. And they'll still work. Don't get me wrong. I like to fish spinnerbait a lot when it's raining.
Yep.
Of course, the basics when the wind's really high. But if I'm going largemouth fishing right now, me personally, I want to have a jig, a wacky rig, Cinco, a Texas rig. I like to throw an A rig. They'll hit an A rig pretty good right now around docks and the laydowns and stuff like that. And that's about it. I mean, when they get shallower, I'm gonna definitely have a top water.
Okay. Sure. What about you? Let me get him what he's throwing for. You're targeting largemouth.
I mean, it's really tough because on my end, like everybody, you guys are all out on boats. So between the bank and the kayak, I'm looking for that small water.
Yeah.
With a down tree.
Yeah.
Because that's where they're going to be. So
you're south end Lanier, right?
I've done just about everything.
Yeah, he's a little bit everywhere.
Where do you put him mostly?
South side. But
like around Young Deer, Charleston.
Yes,
south of there.
You're about 3 weeks.
From being on bed.
Not being on bed. I mean, some of them's pulled up.
Yeah, there's some
the bottom side of Lanier is always going to be about a week and a half before the upper part, before they're spawning.
But what are you targeting? Like right now, if you go put in wherever you're going to go put in your kayak or whatever, what are you targeting?
Down trees and a lot of shade.
What are you throwing?
Depends on the water. I mean, jerkbait.
What's your favorite way to target largemouth? Spinner bait.
Yeah.
Okay. Is that your confidence bait you go to if you had to like that?
Like what Jacob said right there about the floating worm, the brighter the better.
Well, I got some methylate and I got some bubble gum up there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's about that time for methylate.
Man, I used to throw them bubblegum worms by Zoom. Can't get one. Ain't no bubblegum worm no more.
Really?
Well, it's funny because I know somebody down here in this hole just got a new pack of bubblegum flukes.
Really?
Who is that?
Oh, somebody hidden behind the camera.
Oh, there we go. Paul got some bubblegum
No, not
flukes.
Paul. Where's the
Oh,
other-
Matt done went upstairs. So
Tell you what, old Zoom, they make a worm that's just as bright orange as you think. Looks like damn hunter orange. I've caught a lot of bedfish and crazy
Yeah.
fish on that.
I've got some trickster methylates in, and I got the whites and stuff like that. It's about that time too. 28 to 30 pound bag coming from hard labor soon. It's about that time.
It's gonna be Danny.
Jeez. I'll slap you laughing like that. But listen, it's coming. But the thing about it, this is what's going to be interesting this weekend is, even with the rain right now, which may dirty the water up a little bit there.
There ain't no mud about it, Danny.
Well, like Latham doesn't really get muddy. It'll dingy it up, but not muddy. Not what I call muddy.
That water, because I've been watching Saturdays because of the tournament as well.
Yeah.
But
it's
that water, it should be perfect. It's not going to be clear. It's not going to be chocolate milk. It's going to be that nice in between.
Well, I'll tell you right now, the Etowah River, it's chocolate down milk.
Well, check. Yeah, it will be. It will be. It will be.
If you're anywhere up in them creeks on Lanier around the Etowah,
we'll see. We're going to see how
it's
it
going to
plays
be
out.
nasty.
A popper early in the morning right now is overlooked a lot. Not a lot of bites, but it will be better bites.
You get a big bite on it.
Yeah. So, like, if you had a popper, what's your favorite popper?
I like a Rico.
A Rico.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You're going to pay for them, but
They're a little expensive.
they're awesome.
They're real expensive.
You can walk them.
Mhm.
You can single pot, let it sit. You can work them fast. I mean, they don't
real
blow
nice.
out. They're
Real
awesome.
nice. You got a favorite one?
I've got two of the ones that he said. I've paid a shit ton for them, and then I like the 6 cents. They make
You
a
like
decent
everything
popper.
6 cents. You got to be a 6 cents.
I threw that Axis the other day.
Yeah.
Don't know if I'll tie that back on.
Really?
Dude, that thing, it's like this. I thought it was going to be a little better than that, but I mean,
Wasn't as good as you thought.
Not for me, at least.
Rico are awesome. I want more of them. I think we are a week or two off at hard labor, full moon at the end of the month. Probably so, but there's going to be some that's going to be bedding pulled up. There's going to be some, but the temperature drop. We got that front coming in, so it'll be interesting to see how the pressure is going to affect it.
Know.
You never know. Could turn them on. I mean, me and Josh might actually get a limit this weekend. Who knows? Hey, if we do, we're going to have a party.
We're going to bring out the champagne.
We are going to bring out champagne. And so what we're going to do too right here, we're going to take a break real quick. And one of the reasons that I got Justin here is, again, what you hear us talking about this coming up weekend. All right. So we at the Elites, we're down at hard labor and stuff like that. But you see the hats we're wearing. We got our Fishing for Warriors hats on there. And Paul's done lost my screen again. There you go.
Damn, Paul.
He does the best he can do, though. He does an excellent job back there. So anyway, you may or may not have seen the episode we had with the Fishing for Warriors on here, and our goal was to raise $20,000 to help fund their yearly expenses. I was fortunate enough to be asked to be on the board for them, and it's something that on their nonprofit, and that's something I'm really proud of, and I look forward to actually getting involved with it here in the near future and working with it. But Justin had mentioned when he had first heard us talking about doing this, that there was something that he wanted to do for the guys, and he wanted to help raise money. He had some ideas, and he's put together a kayak tournament that's going to happen this weekend on Lanier. And I want you to, and you guys need to listen, because all this money is going for a good cause, but I want you to it's the Tuesday before the tournament, maybe an update on, what the, what kind of prizes and stuff you got going on. And let me address something real quick. Alan, evidently the internet is a little blurry everywhere tonight. It is Marble Hill and it's raining, and it's what happens out here in the sticks. TDS Telecom right there. It is TDS. We are going to get fiber. Oh my gosh, they said
they've
we're
been
coming.
saying that for
They said
years.
it's coming, but gosh knows if we do fiber, I can't wait. We'll do all kinds of crazy.
You'll be
crap
lucky
here.
because I won't get it.
Yeah, you won't, but we're gonna get it here. We're on 53. We're on
No,
53.
you're lucky.
But anyway, go ahead, Justin, and tell everybody real quick a little bit about the tournament and the drawing and the raffle, the stuff like that.
All right. So we have 2 tournaments going on, a live event on Lanier this Saturday, and we also have a nationwide on 20X Saturday as well. Pre-registration is open. You can message me on Facebook. I'll get you all the information for payment, waivers, and everything. Friday night, we'll be having our captain's meeting on the Fishing for Warriors Kayak Tourney group page on Facebook. The entry fee for the live event is $50. 50% of that is going to Fishing for Warriors. The other 50%, $25, is going to get broke down into $15 for payout for the field and $10 towards big fish. Same thing will be going for the Tourney X. The tourney itself, I'm getting a lot of, interest, a lot of people pre-registering. I'm sure there's going to be a lot for the day of registration, which will be at Buford Dam Bait and Tackle from 6 to 7:30 Saturday morning. I'll have the waivers there that I need filled out by everybody. It's not that I don't want to see, any issues or worrying about being sued. Just want to, cover everybody's rear ends. Live event is going till 4:00. We will have a weigh-in at Sherry's Barbecue from 5 to 7. We'll also be doing our raffle drawing. The raffle has been just blowing up every week. Multiple times I've had to redo the list. Just to give a quick rundown for everybody, I have a total of 5 fishing charters for Lanier. Kids Fish Lanier with Jeff Hilliard and his guys. Big Bites Charters, Spartan Charters of Georgia, and Eric Aldrich is doing 2 half-day spotted bass charters. I have a custom rod from David's Custom Rods gift certificate to get a rod built for you by them. Hammond's Tackle donated a Shimano Sedona 4000 and a Savage Gear Prowler swim bait rod. Buford Dam Bait and Tackle donated a Lose American Hero Camo Edition spinning combo. The Dugout donated a Penn Series rod and reel. I have a $100 gift certificate for Aquaterra Bistro in Buford. 4 $50 gift certificates for Fishtails and Pigtails restaurants on Lake Lanier. 2 of LJ's bait kits, 1 for a drop shot, 1 for shaky head, complete kits, hardware, rubber, the whole 9 yards. I have 2 big gift bags donated by Georgia Blade, which anybody that comes into the shop sees their stuff. They have 2 bags that are worth about $120 each. It looks like there's between 10 and 15 baits, a shirt and hat. There's 2 of those. I have a gift bag from Chattahoochee Jigs with his jigs and stuff in it. I have 3 rod holders from Stealth, a QR1 with track mount, a QR1 with a multi-mount, and a QR2 with the track mount. I also have a $150 gift certificate for Your Outdoor Adventures for a battery box. I have another guy that has an HVAC business that just donated a full HVAC service for pre-summer. And I have a lady who heard about the event and is donating 2 gift bags of soaps and oils. So
okay, so that's a lot of stuff. And each one of the tickets. And when is the tickets for the raffle going to? When's the cutoff?
We're drawing on Saturday at 5:00 once we get to Sherry's Barbecue. So I want to get all the tickets, taken care of before that, if possible. If you need to get them at that time, that's fine. Get a hold of me. I actually was sitting there today. I've been getting a lot of tickets sold, and I do greatly appreciate it. It's definitely been chaotic with keeping track of all of it, but I have maybe 1,000 tickets left between what Danny has here and what I have. I am going to be at Friday at 5:00 if I can get all these tickets sold. Right. From anybody on the show or anybody on Facebook or whatnot starting now. I am going to be buying with my own money a FX rod. Whoever buys tickets from now till Friday, I'm going to be putting their name in a drawing. And if I can get the rest of these tickets sold by Friday, I'll be coming down here buying a rod. We'll get a name drawn and we'll get that rod gifted out. Okay, so the tickets are $1. And actually I've got a little something here right now. We're going to bring in Mr. Pork Taco Matt Melton. How are you, sir?
Dang, he likes to lay back in this.
He does.
Thing.
I'm
doing well.
He gets comfortable. He gets comfortable. So,
but I'd like to kick off buying some tickets.
Okay, absolutely.
And what I have right here is 20 crispy $20 bills. 20.
Do you know how to count that high? how much is $20 bill?
400. Thank you.
There you go. That's awesome.
Look, there
Listen.
may be some Dame Brandy up stairs here, but
I understand.
also anybody that buys the first 2 people that buy $20 off of me besides him, he donated.
You get the pork taco sticker.
2 of the official stickers that just got released today. The first 2 people to do $20 in tickets, I will get these to you. I have 2 of them. You can either get a hold of Danny, you can message me on Facebook. Everything I have with these has been done through Venmo. I will gladly get you that information. I just want to get these things moved, guys, and get this taken care of that way. I love the event. I love the outpouring of support from everybody. But the last few weeks with this event has definitely, when Saturday's done, I'll be glad to get a day of rest.
It is.
And you're doing a great job with it. And, my wife and I talked about it, a week or 2 ago. We're like, yeah,
there's your first one.
Donate some money. And, I called her earlier today and I was like, hey, if it's tournament's coming up, we need to go ahead and donate. How much you want to do? She's like, well, go ahead. We'll just do $200. And I was like, all right. And then I doubled it from my business.
That's awesome.
So,
that is awesome. And listen,
and she knew I was going to do that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I do want to say, because your wife's name is Kathy.
It is.
Okay, Kathy, thank you so much. I do greatly appreciate it. This whole event has been great, but it's because of you guys. We've done the donations to the childhood brain stuff.
Mm-hmm.
We're doing the food bank donations, which you still didn't talk about today. So shame
I'll
on
get
you.
to you. I get to it.
But yeah, just the fishing group and community as a whole.
No, Michael, you do not. He just want to know. He just want to know if you had to be present.
Okay, no. I just want to thank everybody for everything because, like I said, the outpouring's been great. But this is why the fishing community needs to stay strong and still work together. It don't matter, as Danny said multiple times. I don't care if you're Democrat, Republican, black, white, Chinese, whatever. We all are one big family.
Yep.
And I've been grateful. I moved down here. I didn't know a lot of people. Danny, is a great guy, even though he picks on me constantly.
That's because you say 20. You don't say tournament. You say 20.
20.
You're 20. You guys have
it's absolutely a great cause.
It is. You did good.
It's something that we'd love to get behind the sport. So
I already got 2 people that if they pay right there, Josh Tatum and Comfort Lawn Care have both said that they would do 20. So if you'll leave those tickets, I'll make sure they take
Comfort Lawn Care already has my Venmo because he donated a chunk before.
Okay, that's awesome.
I actually have 2 spots. If anybody wants to fish it, I have from Comfort Lawn Care and another person that donated full paid entry for 2 people. And I am willing, if you want to fish it and don't have a kayak, I'm willing to let somebody use mine for the day.
Right.
That way they can get out and do it. It's not pedal drive. It don't have spot lock. It's not, like pork tacos, but it's got sonar. It's got rod holders. It's a great kayak. I like it. Unfortunately, I have a lot of things to do that day, so I won't be able to participate, but get a hold of me, guys. It looks like between Josh and then Comfort Lawn Care, you guys will get your stickers then. I'll get the Venmo information. I got both you guys on my Facebook, and Comfort Lawn Care already has mine. So, Josh, I'll reach out to you shortly.
That's awesome.
I wish I could definitely be there to fish it, but I got to work.
I got the elites. I got the elites. I might even try to get in the kayak for this one, but
I'll let you guys get back to business.
First class. That's top shelf stuff. Top
what
shelf.
we can do.
Hey, we need some of them stickers. They're awesome.
We can work on getting some more.
So while we have taken this break, let's go ahead and finish the break out. All right, huh? No, I ain't got to pee. I'm doing real good. So here's what we're gonna do. Now everybody knows we do the poetic reading song of the week, but we did it a little bit different last week. We had Blake sing.
What
You're doing
No, Justin.
He's got control of that.
So here's what we're gonna do. So here's the deal. Now, after this fine Yankee that says tournament,
Gonna fish the tournament.
gonna fish the 20. After he reads
Hey,
this,
at least I didn't say what. How did Paul say raccoon?
Raccoon.
Raccoon. Raccoon.
Let's go
Uh,
kill some raccoons.
Let's look at some raccoons.
Raccoon.
So here's what we're gonna do is Mr. Speece here is gonna read a song, and I'm gonna go ahead and tell you it is by the Bee Gees. So all you Bee Gees fans,
That gives it away, Danny.
no, it doesn't. It
Yes,
doesn't give it away.
They
No,
have
it doesn't.
what
No, because-
one big hit.
No, they had more than one big hit.
That's
You just
before
probably
my
only
time.
heard it at Marble Hill, that one song. You ain't got but one record player in the whole town. So I mean, come on.
What?
I'm just playing. with
You wanna
you.
be
So what?
You ever been stunned?
stunned?
Stuttered.
Stuttered?
You ever been stuttered?
No, I ain't never been stuttered. What is that?
Stuttered.
You want to be put through this table?
Stuttered.
Asshole.
Here's what he's gonna do. Again, he's gonna. I hope he tries to sing it, but
I'm
he's
not
gonna,
singing it.
he's gonna poetically read it till he gets to the chorus. At the end of the chorus, he's gonna continue to read, and the question of the week is gonna come in and scroll at the bottom. First one it gets a pack of Trickster trick worms.
And a sticker. Give him a sticker. Pork taco.
I'll give him my pork taco sticker.
He's got some more.
Okay, I'm gonna give you a pork taco sticker and a bag of Trickster trick worms. You can get either methylate bubble gum, white, or glimmer shad. So again, poetically read this.
For this cheese?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Tonight's
that
podcast is also brought to you by Weawaga cheese.
Waiawega.
Weawaga cheese. hey, I ain't a big cheese fan unless it's like a grilled cheese or something like that. You know, my mama makes the best
You
grilled
see
cheese
how empty
around.
that bag is? There's a problem.
Hey, y'all come up here to the store. This stuff's $10 a bag. You know, if y'all watch UFC events, anything like that, drink some beers, get you some Weawaga cheese, curds. Dude,
They are good. I think.
I'll eat this stuff every podcast. You better keep it away from
It
it
is-
now.
it
That
is
stuff
pretty
is
good, so-
good.
Yeah, just keep that on the other side.
FX rods also. Fish North
FX
Georgia
rods,
has the biggest
that's right,
selection
we
of
do.
FX rods.
Absolutely, we
one.
do. All right, so here we go. Now,
Reading, not singing.
well, do a very nice one.
Poetically,
This is.
I
Great.
get to pick on you too, because for once I'm not doing this junk. Poetically,
I just want to hear you read it. This is great.
Well, you can tell by the way I use my walk. I'm a woman's man.
Ooh.
No time to talk. Music loud and women warm. I've been kicked around since I was born.
what?
And now it's all right. It's okay. And you may look the other way.
Mm-hmm.
We can try to understand the New York Times effect on man.
Oh yeah.
Whether you're a brother or whether you're a mother, you're staying alive. Staying alive.
This is the most monotone.
Feel the city breaking and everybody shaking, and we're staying alive. Staying alive.
Don't give me the
Staying alive. Staying alive.
Keep going, man.
You're going. Yeah.
Where-
Where's the question?
The question's coming out right now. There you go. First one. Keep reading the second verse. Here we go.
Well, now I get low and I get high. And if I can't get either, I really try. Got the wings of heaven on my shoes. I'm a dancing man. I just can't lose.
What'd you do, Paul?
You know, it's all right. It's okay. I'll live to see another day. We can try to understand the New York Times effect on man. Whether you're a brother or whether you're a mother, you're staying alive. Staying alive.
Keep going.
Feel the city breaking and everybody shaking, and we're staying alive. Staying alive.
We know it's the Bee Gees, guys. There's two of them.
Staying
There we
alive.
go. There we go. There we go. Oh, we got another prize going back out to Jefferson again. Oh my goodness.
That was good.
Listen, that
Thank you.
that was the most monotone poetic reading, but you did a great job. What is that?
You didn't want. I'm not
A8.
singing it.
It's Yankee.
Yanking it. Oh shit.
You did a good job. Anyway, yes, it was. The answer is Barry Gibb and Barry Gibb, Robin Gibb, and Maurice Gibb. The Bee Gees. That is the three brothers that sang that gosh awful song that we just murdered again. But anyway, so there you go. So we're getting ready to get talking back about largemouth bass fishing. But one more announcement next Thursday night. Not this Thursday, but next Thursday.
Oh,
so that's
I'm
gonna be
excited
about
for
the
this.
26th, 27th, whatever it is.
I don't
right in
know.
that day.
I've been begging you for months.
So Fish North Georgia is finally going to do their first special edition Hunt North Georgia podcast. So we have got some guys in here. We're going to be talking about turkey hunting. For all you guys that like to get into turkey hunting and stuff like that, we're going to start doing this. We're going to have Blake will be in here. I'm going to have my buddy Sid Bargo in here.
And Ethan Jones.
And Ethan Jones is going to be sitting here. We're going to be talking turkeys, doing a little forecast, talking about the opening weekend, see what people.
There's already been a ton of birds killed during the youth weekend.
Stunned like that. So we are going to definitely go back and we're going to do an episode on that and just see how it goes. This is in coordination with Hunt North Georgia that we have as well. So,
and guys, if you ain't following that, head over to Facebook and give it a follow.
Yeah.
Hasn't been a lot of stuff going on over there because we kind of started right in the middle of deer season.
Yep.
Get on there, guys. Start posting whatever.
That's right there.
Old
So,
deer stuff, turkey stuff.
Yeah, it's a group page. So any one of you guys that want to do it, definitely jump in on that. So and yeah, that's me. I just finally put a post out today. Also looking for custom turkey call.
I've already hit you up.
You hit me up with one, but
Yep.
if you know somebody that makes
Make it the turkey call.
Somebody
dude,
custom turkey calls,
high quality stuff.
high quality.
There's
yeah.
a lot of guys out there so they can make good calls and they can't simply if somebody makes a good high quality call.
Yeah, that's right. So
don't put junk in the store.
we're not going to do that. So I got nothing on hunting, but good idea. Yeah, Jeremiah. Well, listen, we can teach you about hunting. So let's take Jeremiah turkey hunting. You want to do it?
I don't know.
I love taking people turkey hunting for the first time, but I mean it's people. I pissed a lot of people off today with turkey hunting. I'm not going to lie. I could go down a rabbit hole. I kind of don't want to do it.
Good, let's don't.
But there's a lot of people that think it's just, well, let's just go sit in a ground blind over decoys in a field. No, I'm up at the crack ass of daylight. I'm owl hooting. I'm putting 12 to 15 miles on my feet a day. I don't sit in a ground blind. I don't use decoys up and down mountains. Like I'm after them.
There you go. So that's what we'll do.
My only concern is with you hunting. We see how you fish. I mean, I won't want to see you get a turkey shot in the back of the leg.
Just don't shoot me in the back of the head, okay? We good?
Smart
We're good.
asses.
We good. I didn't say
Look,
that. I didn't say.
I'm not no rod safety, okay, but I know gun
you know,
safety.
gun safety. So, all right, good. So anyway, that's not this Thursday, but next Thursday, which would be like I guess it's the 26th, 27th. But anyway, we'll do more. But just go ahead and start sharing that. So,
Casey did get put in the dirt. I ain't gonna lie.
he got put in the dirt Sunday.
Yeah, I was looking at the results. There's some good bags on Saturday though. from
Okay, there you go. Well, it happens. It happens. So let's get back talk about largemouth. We've talked about a lot of other things, but and we got off topic a little bit. But let's get back in on largemouth. So, what's your biggest largemouth you ever caught?
I mean, I've caught a couple in ponds and stuff where it didn't have scales that you know,
Just
guess.
9-pound range. But as far as the lakes up around here is 8 pounds. Right
8 pounds?
Yeah.
All right. What about you there, Blake?
I got spots that are bigger than my biggest largemouth because
Okay.
I don't have a real nice pond. I just go jack them. But I
I
mean,
mean,
my biggest head's like 6'2", and I caught her 4 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That's fair enough. How about you?
When I was younger, probably 4 or 5 pounds.
4 or 5
I haven't
pounds? Right. That's
had
fine.
anything major.
It's bad when you got two spots that beat your damn largemouth. That's
Well, you know, I'm listening.
it's like a kick in the
It's-
nuts to me, man.
Well,
Seriously.
it is. I understand that. There's some big spots right here, but I mean,
I don't
so
know.
mine's just right under 8, 7.5,
Yeah.
8 pounds. I caught those out of a pond again when I was
Yeah.
younger, but now I caught one at Rocky Mountain last year that was 7.5.
Let me
so-
ask you this: you one of the guys? Say you catch a 10-pounder, you gonna measure her and get her mounted, or are you gonna take her to the house?
I don't know.
I'm the same way.
I don't know. I guess I'll just have to see when that time
I
comes.
watch Jacob.
I like watching them go.
I do too.
I mean,
You like watching them go?
I watch
um,
Jacob catch
that
like
tail slap, like
Yeah,
especially
yeah.
on a big one.
Yeah.
It's
there's a lot of. I think I got a guy that I use in Blue Ridge for taxidermy that would do a great job on a replica.
Mhm.
But I've seen some replicas that
horrible,
look pretty bad.
Yeah, you got to spend the money. It's what
Yeah.
you spend the money.
especially on a fish, man. Because I mean, people say they can mount fit like that one right there. That looks like crap. I'm not gonna lie.
where did that come from?
on. I don't know.
Me,
Missouri, Georgia, and Scottsdale. Of all the electric lakes, which have the most timber? As far as around here,
kind of
well,
timber are you
it just
talking about?
depends. Like Latham's got a fair amount in some spots.
Lanier's filled with timber.
Yeah, it's not electric only though, so he's not
Oh.
of the electric lake. So I would say Latham's got a fair amount. Rocky Mountain doesn't have any timber. It's got rocks. It's got one little pond, one little cove that's got some timber. I don't know about hard labor. I imagine it's probably got some. But I don't know. I don't know a lot of the lakes that are down south of Atlanta, but I would say up here, I'd honestly put Latham as far as the amount of timber on it against any of them. I'm sure somebody will pop up and know some different ones. That hard labor's got millions, so there you go. So, it just depends on what now. When I say timber, I'm not talking about just flooded timber either that you just can't see. It's all subsurface.
When I think of timber, I'm thinking of like standing timber.
Standing
and stuff like
timber.
that. I don't call laydowns timber.
Okay, so now Latham's got a good bit. Cedar Creek has some good sections that's got a lot of timber in it like that. So Carter's re-reg, no, not so much. Not so much.
I mean, it's got some stuff you could flip, but the thing is with that, the water fluctuates so much. I don't really know if that.
Yeah, I don't think what you would consider that timber. An A-rig at timber at Latham means biggins. Well, it used to there. It absolutely used to. So we'll see if that still holds on. Rob Jordan does great replicas. Yes, I've heard that.
Good
actually,
stuff.
Cofield, Harley Cofield does replica work. We carry some of his baits, and actually, if I had to recommend anybody right now that would want a replica, I would send them to Carly like that. So, but I'm sure there's some guys.
How much is it now? It's like $13, $14 an inch.
I don't know. I haven't had one. I haven't had one.
Y'all not got
like that.
You not got a certain guy that does y'all?
Yeah, Jonathan there, Kevin Franklin.
Kevin Franklin does it right there. Okay, that's
y'all's trout guy.
I mean, he does everything.
About everything. Okay. Deer too, or just
yeah, he does phenomenal.
I like him taxidermist and do a little bit of everything.
Yeah,
he's
so
good.
and
stop shop.
So that's awesome. Now, let's compare the bass's habits right now. The big females we're talking about, because we're talking about a lot of them staging and all that.
Mm-hmm.
So let's take a lake. Let's don't talk linear because everybody but let's talk compare a farm pond to a reservoir to a I guess a big lake, then like that.
You could include a river with that.
Even a river, yeah. But where are we talking about right now with the big females? Where are they staging at? If there's no, are we talking more depth of water?
Yeah. I mean, like Blake said, I mean, you can. I think if a lake has docks, I don't know that it's so. I mean, I know that depth has a lot, especially when it starts to get a little warmer.
Yeah.
But I mean, I've caught fish on docks in 50 foot of water this time of year. Now,
largemouth.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And now, not all. I mean, your majority of them are, like he said, going to be in that 10 to 2 foot range in the back of those pockets.
The older and ricketier the docks, the more time you need to spend.
But that's where they're staging.
Yeah. And they'll come there when post spawn as well.
I'll tell y'all another good pre-staging, especially on the mountain lakes that we have, is docks that have stairs coming into the water.
Yeah.
Not the ones that just have the ramps going up to their beach, not the beaches, but up.
Yeah.
If they've got wooden stairs coming down, and if y'all are good at skipping a jig, even a shaky head, skip every set of stairs you find. And when I say the stairs, try to put that jig, shaky head, wacky rig, whatever it is, try to put it on that damn bottom step and work it back. Do not know what it is this time of year.
Right.
Those fish just
spawn around that.
They'll pull up on those things, and you can catch them 12 inches, or you can catch them all the way up 5.5, 6 pounds. I've done it.
Right. When would the fluke come into play?
Right now.
Right
now.
Right now.
Double fluke rig, if y'all know what that is. Donkey rig. Y'all want to have some fun?
Yeah.
That type of donkey rig.
I mean, they're eating a fluke on Lanier right now, big time.
Yep.
Okay.
Around docks, backs, pockets. I mean, and you're going to have the largemouth. I've seen even right now, there's largemouth mixed in with the spots that are chasing bait. And that's just them all feeding up, getting ready to spawn.
Especially the back of the pockets.
Exactly.
Yeah. They'll push that. They'll kind of hang out in the mouths of them.
Right.
And then later in the evenings, you'll see them sometimes. They'll get dirt shallow, and they'll just be busting bait everywhere.
All right. Well, let me ask you this. Fluke, and we'll start with you, and we'll go all the way around. I'm going to ask you, you pick one. Fluke, trick worm.
Fluke.
You have a weightless trick worm.
I hate them.
So you just stick with a fluke.
You said a fluke or a trick worm. I hate a fluke.
Oh, you hate a fluke.
I can't. I have a horrible hookup ratio. The only time I can hook up on a fluke is if I've got like my 5/0 hook in it, and I have to tail hook a treble hook to be able to get a hookup ratio.
Okay, so you just don't like.
I don't like them. If they're eating a fluke, they'll eat a jerkbait. And I've got a lot more hooks on jerkbait.
Yeah,
We know.
We know.
Shut the hell up. Bunch of asses. Don't even start with that.
And
Come
so what
on
about
now.
you?
Pre-spawn, I like a fluke, and while they're spawning, and even post-spawn, I like a weightless worm.
Any particular color?
Like you said, on the fluke, I like a white,
Right.
just pearl white, imitates shad. And a lot of people throw a fluke too when they're spawning, but the trick worm, bubblegum white, and methylate, that's
Yeah,
all
it
hard
can't
to
be.
beat.
I wonder what it is about methylate that just drives
I
the
don't know.
I
largemouth
have no
crazy.
I just
idea.
can't stand it.
They can't.
I tell you, a good fluke fisherman, that's the guy I fish with, Jacob. He'll throw that thing on a damn spinning rod, and I mean, wear me out. And I'll pick one up, I just miss them left and right. I don't know what it is. I can't get a hook in.
Well, I mean,
Cannot get a hook in.
everybody's got their weakness. Love a fluke 3/0 wide gap Blake right there. So Max says
I
that.
don't care.
Now, but a lot
I
of
use a
people
5.
like you use a 5.
Big
Yeah,
old
here's a
hook, yeah.
4.
You use but somebody like that's a good point. But can you skip a jerkbait?
No, you can't. But if I'm skipping, I'm gonna take a wacky rig, and I'm gonna get it a lot further than you're getting that fluke. I'll tell you that
You
right
think
now.
so? Okay,
Oh,
with
I
a
know.
wacky-
It's 100%.
100% with a wacky rig.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
And I'm gonna take that little rubber band. I'm gonna put that hook under it, and I'm just gonna let it slow sink. And all I'm gonna do is watch that yellow braid start swimming. And
is that what it
no,
is?
you don't even set the hook.
Let
you
it
just
take
reel.
3 do you let it take 3 seconds or stuff like that before you set it?
I
Like
think it-
with the flukes?
I think it
and stuff?
depends. If you see the fish bite, then no. Like if I can see the fish come up and eat it, but if I'm fishing and I can't see my bait, then I don't know that I go 3 seconds. But
Yeah,
what I like to do when I'm fishing a moving bait like that, like a fluke or something that you have to set the hook, when I feel the fish hit, I drop my line, wait for my rod to get tight, set the hook. I know
Okay.
that fish is swimming.
So
with
you
it.
letting it load
Yeah.
itself up.
Because a lot of
yeah.
times they'll come up and hit that, pop it back out, and then they'll grab it again. A lot of times you're going to miss them when they come up and they hit that bait. You instantly jerk. They don't have it.
No,
and then
hey,
you jerked
fix
it
that.
away from them.
Right. Okay, I got you. Treble hook on it like
Hey,
that.
I'm just saying, you have a lot of them
you're
spots.
like
They'll come
a
up and
spokesperson for treble hooks right now.
dude.
He's trying.
You
to
have
get-
a
trying
lot
to
of
get
spots that'll
sponsorship.
come up and they'll just dead stick
You need a
one.
treble hook
Yes.
sponsor.
We'll do that.
Why are you being this way right now? That the hell at all y'all. I'll go sit
Hey,
over
brought
there
to
on
you
the
by-
casting couch.
Brought to you by
The
Perk
casting
Plus, the
couch.
Mustad Trebles.
Mustad treble.
What? Hey, whoever makes the 6 cents hooks, yeah, I'll take those because they sure are sharp,
They
boys.
hurt
Blake,
me. Yeah.
Blake tested. Blake.
It's
Blake
that boy.
tested, Blake approved.
Yeah, Blake
That's
knows all about that.
That's right. It's interesting. With the fluke and all that. Some people like Jimbo nose hook it. Now, do you nose hook your flukes? Now he's
I've
throwing
done
on
that.
Lakeland. Then now he's going after spots. Now he's
Yeah.
throwing. He
and they're-
nose hooks. So I wonder if that's because of he's going after
I
the
think it's
spots or
action.
just
It
action.
gets a lot
Yeah.
more action when you nose hook it.
Does a lot more darting action,
Right.
a lot wider and everything.
When I'm fishing for spots, I'll actually peg a small weight to the front of mine. Or put a nail weight in it, stuff like that. Keeps it down. Have you ever been fishing a fluke and it constantly comes to the surface?
Oh, it's irritating.
Yeah, I mean, I peg a small 1/8 ounce bullet weight or put a nail weight in that fluke to keep it down. Especially when you're fishing for, like you're talking about fishing for spots, it's a lot faster. But now with largemouth, I just use a heavy 5/0 wide gap hook, and that will keep it down.
Keep
with
it
as slow
down.
as I'm fishing it. Yeah,
Gotcha. Do you do the same thing for the trick worm when you
Yeah.
start doing that?
Yeah,
Same
I
thing.
throw a 5/0.
5/0 and get it down.
yeah, because they're not. I mean, those largemouth aren't coming up, and they're not going to stare at it and say, "Hey, do I want this or do
They're
I not?"
either going to eat it. They're going to
Yeah.
eat it or it's not looking.
What kind of hooks do you use when you nose hook? I have no idea.
They're probably using a wacky rig hook. I don't
Yeah,
think they'd be
I
throwing
mean-
a drop shot hook on it.
Yeah,
No, it's a decent size hook.
But
I
yeah.
remember, but I don't know exactly
Well,
what brand or nothing like that.
Yeah, mostly like if you're running like something close to a drop shot, you're running a 4 or 2. You're not running
Yeah.
1 out or anything like that. You're not running a huge hook on a nose hook.
I have no idea. I just know that when we did the podcast with Jimbo, he was talking about nose hooking his flukes.
Yeah.
And that's how he would
Yeah.
do it. He was
they get a
always a nose
lot
hook.
of action. Like that.
Weighted hooks. Any of you guys weighted hooks when you throw a fluke? Is
Yeah.
that option?
Yeah,
I'll throw a big one.
the only thing that I don't like about the weight hook is that, I mean, it like you can go to a little bit of your hook up. I would much rather just peg a weight.
That's a good thing. A spot will eat a blue herring
Yeah.
head first. And that's why
Yeah.
a nose hook is
and a
that's good.
largemouth. They'll do the same.
That,
thing.
that's pretty good. 3 inches of lure. What did Philip right there say? Through a 7-inch, you can rig it with 2. Okay, yeah. So I can't see half of it because of that Dr. Pepper ball.
3
Move that
inches
Dr.
lure will
you don't
with
mind.
hook up loops twisted through a 7-inch fluke. You can rig it with 2 trebles. And
Thank you,
zero
buddy.
weight.
Okay, I got you. So that's who still throws the let's see, what was that? The old school Lunker City Sluggos.
Never heard of them.
Never heard of one.
Well, I imagine that
You're just a young buck.
you're just what Jeremiah's only 24.
I don't know what they are.
Yeah, so I don't now.
Damn, Jeremiah's only 24.
You didn't
24,
know that?
25.
Jesus,
Dude,
I'm old, man. He looks
I don't
30.
Dude, you're what?
God almighty.
You're what? Late 20s?
I'm about to be 26.
And you're saying you're old. I'm gonna be 37 in
Well,
like 2 months. I don't
Listen,
want
all
guys,
these
to.
guys,
guys,
I'm like,
guys,
good
I'm on
Lord.
AARP's advanced.
Look
mailing
at you,
list
though,
already.
Danny. You're white and fat.
Why?
Of course, you're old.
What?
I don't know what that had to do with anything, but all right.
Gray, white,
Gray, okay,
whatever.
I got you.
So,
I
now-
got you.
so
that-
what? So what? The grays that go around here.
Dude,
and
I've
down
got
here?
gray too. I don't want to hear it.
Listen,
Well, I'm
none of y'all,
surprised. I
none of
mean-
y'all got gray. Now, let me tell you what gray is. Gray is having to deal with you guys twice a week, right there.
Whose
what
choice
makes
is
it
that?
better.
We talked about this Sunday.
I
We
know.
could do this one time a week. No, we're
Well,
keeping it twice a
We're
week.
gonna keep it twice a week. We've got people out there that want to hear us, talk about fishing. So,
I don't know about
Um,
that. They don't want to listen.
hey,
to
how
you.
about this? How about this? 25 in May. Yeah, they are, Michael. They are
Good
babies.
Lord.
So, Jesse,
He
listen,
needs a cane, is what he needs, Phil. He needs a cane.
listen,
He needs a cane, and instead of them bait casters, them old FXs, he needs to start taking them 33s out there.
Hey,
is what he
listen,
needs.
I'll wear you out with the 33. I like 33s. That's my
What are those
way of
crappy
fishing.
rods that are the like tube ones.
I
They're
can do
almost
it.
like a
the
telescopic.
two pieces.
but- well, no, they're like a big telescopic
Yeah.
one, but the
What's
line
up,
just goes
Daniel
through
Duckett, buddy?
through the tip of the rod, and it's sort of like a fly rod, but it's like 10 foot. That could be a great
Yeah.
king because they're like 3 foot. They have a rubber top and a rubber bottom,
Yeah.
so he could have his rod and cane.
Get
all
you a
in.
piece of that cheese.
I don't know.
Take you
Let's
one-
see. Let's
Take
see.
you one
That's
piece.
pretty good cheese.
Get some
Now,
of the
listen,
white
how
cheese.
about
Just
this?
break you off small
How about
pieces.
this? How about the swim jig? When do you start
Oh,
throwing a swim
right
jig?
now.
Like Kitex.
Yeah.
Right now?
Well, but see, here's the thing. And how are you throwing them? Because Jesse was using it.
You want to go first?
Yeah, you go. No. Let
I
Dalton
mean,
go
you go
first.
first.
You go first,
I throw
Dalton.
swim jigging on bed. When I'm running a gun in shallow cover, I'll throw one on a dock. I like throwing one on a dock when it's a little dirtier water.
A lot of people don't think they work in these spotted bass
Yeah, they
lakes.
work. Oh, yeah.
BS. Spots will eat them just as much as
I
largemouth.
know a lot of guys throwing in the timber, tops of timber, just because it's weedless.
Right.
But I mean, that's not just my choice. I don't know that it really matters. You throw a swim jig on the bed. I think as long as it's a jig and you can see it.
If she's ready to bite,
Yeah,
if
I
you
mean-
know what you're doing, she's gonna
if
bite.
she's around a tree or something like that, it's a little more weedless.
You like that cheese there, buddy?
You
It's
like
good
it? Is that
cheese.
good?
It's not bad.
It's not bad.
Oh, here we
He
go.
done finished the whole bag over here, right there. So there you go.
Yeah,
Swim jig is money 90% of the year. Yeah, and so
See, I thought when I first started fishing the swim jig is up on Chickamauga and Gunnersville. I thought it was just a grass thing.
No.
right.
But I come down here, and this is back when I was making my own stuff. I made some of like shad patterns. Started going down on Altoona. Jacob tied one on a Wednesday nighter. It's 100 degrees. Pulls up to a point, loads the boat.
Mhm.
I was like, okay. Throw a swim jig on all these spot lakes now. Docks, brush,
Right.
green lights,
Mhm.
points, anything like that.
Okay, but we're targeting
You can target it.
largemouth, but you're saying it's all around bait for
It's
everything.
all around bait. I thought it would just work on grass lakes because that's what I'd heard. I watch a lot of the Bassmasters, and you see the guys throwing swim jigs on lakes like that. Well, the reason I decided to try a swim jig is when the elites come to Lanier. Can't think of the guy's name, but he was throwing a swim jig on the lower end of the lake in black and blue. And I sat there and watched him all day, couldn't believe it. And that's when I started throwing one.
Yeah.
And spots will eat it just like a large.
Well, let me ask you this, because Cooper wants to know, our buddy up in Lumpkin County, what pound test for swim jigs?
same as a regular jig, 15
Yeah,
to
I'm
20.
15 plus.
Yeah. If I'm
You're
throwing a
setting the
jig, it's
hook.
heavy.
And it's, swim jigs usually got a little heavier cover.
Now we're staying.
guard.
No, we throwing mono or fluoro.
Or
on?
fluoro.
Okay, straight fluoro, no braid.
Straight fluoro.
Now, in dirty water, like when we were down there in Florida, you can definitely get by with straight braid.
That was you doing?
Yeah.
Oh, he's
you,
cranking them
you
in,
can throw
wasn't it?
straight braid in dirty water. I don't see a problem with it. On a moving bait.
Yeah.
I mean, I've even went and I've even thrown a wacky rig on straight braid in dirty
Get
water.
tired, don't want to tie a leader back on. Been there, done
mean,
that.
But I
Been there,
definitely,
done that.
Yeah.
I definitely throw it on 15 plus.
Okay, so there you
Let
go.
me ask you this, man. I see a lot of people always bringing up the lipless stuff on lakes like this. Do you throw a lipless up here? I guess I'm the only one who don't. I hate them. I will not throw them
Right
unless
now,
I'm
it's
on
best time to
grass
throw
lakes.
one. Now,
I hate 'em.
When the spots are bedding.
I
that
love to throw them
blade-
in grass.
Blade baits right now.
Yeah.
Those weighted ones.
Okay, there you go.
Trailers on swim jig.
Yep.
I like a Kitech or some kind of crawl type.
I'll
trailer.
throw a Crytek, or Zoom makes a crazy looking bug. It's kind of got some paddles on the end of it. It looks like a crawfish.
I need to
I'll throw
find
that.
out what Jesse had on, what he had on that day, because it was
I'm sure
white.
it was a crawl type.
Probably some kind of bug.
It was white.
Crawler,
It was
yeah.
white, and
Crawl bug.
so yes, Josh White. They are running trailers on the swim jig, and now are y'all steady reeling this jig, or fletching it 3 or 4 times and then reeling? Or
I pop mine.
Yeah.
so you pop it, give it a good pop, let
Yeah.
it fall, reel a little bit, pop it. So you just pop
And
it.
if I'm
constant.
fishing,
now we're going for largemouth. Does
Yeah.
it make a difference?
No, I don't
no,
think
it
it
doesn't.
does.
Okay.
No, and if I'm fishing somewhere, I feel like there's more shad, like it goes back to the trailers, then I'll throw a paddle tail type trailer.
More
I'm
so
fishing-
during a shad spawn.
Yeah, and if I'm fishing, where I think there's bluegill, then I'm going to go with the twin tail. Um,
Yes, Brian Markison, I'm going to be tying up your swim jigs this week, buddies. Definitely going to be doing that. So Jeremiah Giles, 7'4", medium heavy, 14-pound line, paddle tail or Rage Menace trailer, typically a Clearwater Grass Lake finesse type
Dude,
bait.
that Strike King Menace on a swim jig on
Yeah.
Chickamauga.
Chicken.
it's just a little small for me.
What's
Their
that?
Menace.
The menace, yeah, it's a little tight.
Yeah.
Charles
I like it
showing
tight,
that
though.
depends on watercolor, depth fishing, and water temps makes trailer choice. There's a lot of stuff you got to put in, but we threw straight. Okay, Michael Fox. So that's who he was with down Florida, right?
No,
Or that's a different
no,
guy.
no.
So he said he threw straight braid with everything when he lived down in Florida.
Yeah.
So I guess you could.
There's a lot of guys throw straight bait. I will say though, when I
Water's
was-
dirtier down there, right?
yeah, it's got like a Coke looking color.
Yeah,
to it.
Yeah,
It
it's
feels
tannic,
tannic.
that
Got
tannic
that-
water right
yeah.
there.
I
yeah.
will say that the first day in that Bass Open, when I drew that FLW guy, he was throwing straight braid, and I was throwing 20-pound fluoro, and I was getting probably half the more bites than he was.
Just because you think because of
I
mine.
think so, but I mean, he had 18 pounds. I mean,
Right.
I don't think it, it
Take it
hurt
easy,
him a
Daniel.
lot, but I got a lot more bites than he did.
Hey Daniel, definitely you take it easy,
Finesse
buddy.
swim jigs for spots.
And Philip says they're till about June. Yeah, especially targeting largemouth. Because right now, I mean, I've seen a lot of bluegill around the docks right now. I
I
go
seen that
just
Saturday.
I go just on what I'm seeing. If those largemouth are chasing bait
Mhm.
fish, then I'm going to throw a paddle tail on the back of that swim jig. And if I see a lot of bluegill around, then when I'm fishing a swim jig and I see bluegill, I'm usually going to throw a green pumpkin or a bluegill
Mhm.
color with a green pumpkin crawl trailer on the back of it.
We'll tell you this: the later in the summer it gets, a lot of guys still like to flip the laydowns and stuff like that on the lake.
Yeah.
I found if you want to speed up, hit more stuff, throw a swim jig around them. You'll get
Mhm.
more of a reaction bite instead
Well-
of you having to drag that jig through there. If you're really on the move, you got your trolling motor on high, flip that swim jig all the way up in the back and just float that thing over the limbs. Because a lot of the times the laydowns we're fishing, you can see the limbs, kind of reel, drop it, pull it back over, drop it, pull it back over,
Work
Yeah.
it through the
work
timber.
it through it.
I know we're talking about largemouth. There's a question there talking about finesse swim jigs for a spot.
Right.
There actually is. Now it's not got just because when you're doing that, you're more than likely fishing open water. There's I think the brand is Picasso. It's called a Little Spotty. And it has a round
Barday could
head.
tell us that.
But
Barday's still on here. Tell us that, buddy.
yeah, that's a killer little finesse jig for spots. And they have a shad color that you can put a little 2.8 Kitech on the back.
Mm.
That's mean.
Real small, huh?
Yeah.
So you're really just downsizing.
How you
it on
throwing
there.
that? You throwing it open face or you throwing bait caster still?
It just depends. I mean, 3/16 to a quarter, I'm going to throw on an open face. When I go above that quarter, then I'm going to go to a bait caster.
What about you? Or are you just like me? I'm just over here listening and
I was
absorbing it.
listening. I mean, swim jig for me, I'm throwing Kitech on.
Yeah.
Most of the stuff
Yeah.
I'm running, with trailers outside of a swim
Swim a jig.
Right. Yeah.
is going to be on just the jig head itself. But a swim bait, I'm running that 3/8 pearl white Kitech.
Seems to be like the popular consensus on stuff like that.
Pearl wide electric shad.
Yeah.
Now on my Kitech, I actually put a split in the tail.
Yeah. There's
Like
another
the pa-
thing.
the paddle part of it, like
Mhm.
where it connects to the
split
body
it.
right here. I'll put a slice right
Yeah.
down through there. and it just puts a little bit more back tail action.
Another thing that I do in the winter, which is not a lot of people do this, but in the winter, even for the largemouth on those Kitex, I'm going to take that. So it's round.
Yeah.
The back of that tail's round. I'm going to cut straight line on both sides. So it's a rectangle. And that really, Kitex has a really wide paddle.
You
It
basically
really
making a square
tones it
boot
down to
tilt.
make it tight.
So you're
makes them
basically
cold
you're
water.
basically taking a crankbait like they didn't throw.
Like a flat-sided crankbait.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah,
More
they
like
have
a
a lot
fridge. You
tighter.
get that tighter. Don't tell. Is that too many secrets? There you go. Well, hey, listen. One thing that everybody always says is that, and I heard it even today, that for some reason on this show, guys get up there willing to talk, and they'll tell some stuff and information, and that's good.
That goes back to, I was talking to Jacob on the phone about the largemouth stuff today. And I'm sure you know this too. There's not a lot of guys that are willing to get off the main lake spots and run up these rivers and stuff like that to go chase largemouth. But the thing is, you can still go win a tournament on largemouth, especially these summer night tournaments.
Yeah. And surprisingly, what you're saying there, that's big time with Lanier. I know a lot of the lakes that I fish. The three main lakes that I fish a lot while I'm at home is Chateau, Notley, and Blue Ridge. And
every one of them can be won with largemouth.
Yeah, exactly. And then, in the heat of the summer, you got people that stay out there with you in the spots. But most of the time, if you want to spot fish, there's a lot of people that are largemouth fishing. And you're going to have the spots to yourself because there's actually a lot of largemouth in these lakes up here. There's some people that think there's not, but Blue Ridge has a lot of largemouth in it.
It's the same thing on Lanier.
There's a lot of largemouth in
They're
Lanier.
all saying it's all spot.
Yeah.
And see, this is what was funny to me. I hadn't fished a lot since I got my divorce and everything, but I started fishing a lot last summer. Started in the middle of the summer. Dude, I got on a good largemouth pattern. And we was just fishing the pot tournaments on Wednesday night. There'd be like 12 to 15 of us. If I wasn't winning them, a second, third place with nothing but largemouth. And people, and we pay first place. People are like, oh, yeah, you go up there and catch them, but you can't win them. I'm like, but I'm right here with you, boys. If y'all are paying out more places, I'll be making money every night.
That's right, because you're consistent.
Because I'm consistent catcher.
This is an interesting question. And I'm going to drop my pen there. So here's the question. Where do y'all stand on the fishing is an art versus a science? Where on the continuum is it? Now, for me, personally, I think it's more science than it is art. Now, I think if you say art is in the presentation and all that, but that's predicated on science.
Here's how I think about it. Look back in the day, Bill Dance, Rick Klein, all the big guys. They didn't have the electronics we had. I think it was more of an art. Those better anglers were going out. They were doing stuff differently, doing baits differently, a lot more knowledge. Nowadays,
it's all in your electronics.
If you do not know those electronics, they don't matter if you're largemouth fishing, spot fishing, smallmouth fishing. Tournaments nowadays are won off the electronics. Look back when Gussie Gufferson, he just won up there on Lake
Loudon.
People said all week, it can't be one catch a smallmouth all week. What'd he do? He went up there with his live scope and his 360, sat on the same spot all week. How many largemouth he weighed in?
I don't think he weighed in none.
Didn't weigh in a single largemouth and won a tournament because he's got those graphs dialed in.
Right.
It's all about the graphs nowadays, if you ask me. Until spawning season, go up, learn how to spawn fish. Which there's a lot of people that can't bed fish.
Right.
I would love to see it go back. Not that I have anything against electronics, because I think they're great. But there was a big discussion about it. What is too far and when does it become video game fishing? I mean, you got to be able to know your baits and stuff. But like you see these guys crappie fishing, they're sitting there just.
Yeah.
There's one coming in bang.
Here's an example. I just finished up my boat. I haven't had a boat in a month and a half. I got a Garmin live scope on the front of my boat. It's not even on there right now because I haven't put it back on. I went and caught 15 fish the other day. Like clockwork. And it's because I'm confident in what I was doing. I went shallow. I'm a shallow water guy. Yeah. If I went out on the main lake and was running points and stuff, I might have caught a couple, but if I had that Garmin live scope on, I'd done a lot better.
That's the thing, though. You know what you're doing, so you're more on that art aspect because you're going off what you know works.
I don't know if it's an art thing. I think it's more of a science that,
but that's where it's sort of a gray area because
you got guys that are good at certain aspects. Like me, I don't like to fish deep. I mean, you can ask anybody that's ever in my boat. If I'm in 20 foot, I hate it. I like to be up
That's
on the
what you
bank.
call deep.
Dude, 20 foot's deep to me. I ain't gonna lie, boys.
Right.
20 foot's deep to me. If I have to, I'll go run brush piles, but I don't like to do it. You know,
I'm
I like
still catching spots on Blue Ridge and 40.
I don't well take me with you, boy. I'm only about 45 minutes. I'll drive up there.
That's
Hey, I'm ready
crazy.
for a trip.
What are you as far as using your electronics to find largemouth? You know, it's here's the thing. Is you can't tell what they are.
No,
You can't tell what they are.
You still
So
got to figure
what I
the
use mine
point
for-
where it's at. You know, like where
Yeah,
you're
I
looking
mean,
at.
Basically, like especially if you go to a lake you've never been to, you can zoom out on those electronics
Yep.
and you can tell, hey, they're going to stage here. They're
Yep.
going to stage here just by the depth, the way the contour comes up,
Right.
back to the pockets that get shallower earlier.
I'll tell you one
A lot
of
of
the
stuff
biggest
like
friends right now, you know, other than live scope and 360 is that side scan.
Yeah,
Dude, you can go down and if you got your side scan
you could
like
scan the whole
dialed in.
bank and sit there and watch
Yeah.
every bed fish.
the biggest
bed
thing
fish
with
or
that-
docks, fish laying on docks,
Yeah.
rocks, anything.
The biggest thing with the side scan and what I've seen like on Eufaula and other lakes is brim beds.
Yep.
You can actually scan some brim beds and see.
The fish laying in.
So like I know that when the brim are bedding, the back those largemouth will hang
Absolutely
around because
hate
the brim
carters.
are there. Now I fished BFL on Eufaula last year, and that one I fished as a co-angler, and we were targeting brim beds, but it was in the late summer and the brim were gone. But those bass were actually using those craters to sit down in
Get a little cool.
to get cooler. And
Okay, there you go.
You could scan those brim beds on those flats, and you could see each individual fish laying in that. And now that's obviously largemouth. We're on Eufaula,
Right.
but that was a big thing.
And see,
there.
even when we're
Okay.
up on like Chickamauga and stuff like that, when we're scanning ledges, we're using our side scan and we're looking for when it drops off or anything like that, shell beds and stuff. And now I've got the live scope.
Mhm.
Once I've marked that on my graph, I can turn the boat back around, drop that trolling motor, and I can pinpoint exactly where they are.
That's a pretty good question right here. Philip Hutchinson. Anybody got any suggestions or pointers for using electronics in rivers?
That's tough. Current frigs with them pretty bad. Now
Yeah.
that bad a current.
Yeah,
Now you're
because
talking-
Phil ain't like it's fishing Tennessee River. Phil's out there on the
Yeah,
hooch
he's on the
and
hooch.
stuff
Yeah,
like
now
that.
he's
Yeah.
constantly in current. I'm assuming.
yeah.
But I feel
Um,
like you could see the fish stacked up on certain boulders and stuff like that.
You could. And now I've fished.
Would
the,
a side scan be more for you
Yes,
than it would be than
I wouldn't use a
Way
two
more than
deep.
So
sonar.
so you're going side scan. You're going right
Exactly.
down the middle. You just
And
kinda-
I'm sure most of the river that
do y'all have that on kayaks?
What?
I mean, you side
side
scan.
scan,
Do you guys
you
use
can
it?
get it. Yeah.
You can get anything you want for a kayak,
Right,
It's
but
really
it-
going to depend on how you're mounting it. Because if you don't have it set deep enough, like I use mine on a switchblade,
Right.
Yank Tech. If that's not down below the boat enough, I'm going to get the interference off my
Yep.
hull. So
Gotcha.
if you have a
Same way with the
transducer-
bass boat.
yeah,
Yeah.
if you have it mounted in the hull or at the bottom of it, it'll be better. The side scan for the river would be fine, but anybody that fishes the hooch, and I know I fish the hooch semi-frequently. I haven't been out in the yak yet doing it, but the thing with that is the contour is so you could be in 6 foot of water and 20 feet away, you could have a 15-foot hole, and then you could be back to 3 foot
Yeah.
again. So there's just I don't know how good it would work. The side scan, yeah, I could see that, but you'd really have to be careful with the
Gotta be moving at a
transducer
certain speed as well.
because
So that'd be scary with a kayak, especially when you're getting real shallow. I'd be scared it'd rip the transducer or hit it or something like that.
with the switchblade,
You can adjust it.
I can literally sit there and watch it. Like with the Garmin I have low water
Mhm.
alarm. So anytime I'm in 4 foot of water,
Pull it up.
beep, 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 and I just pull the handle up and we're done with.
Phil, I don't know what electronics you're running on your boat. This is the Phil Hutchinson, but you running the rivers. If I was you, I would start using your side scan more. I mean, you can see rocks that you might not know is there in
Exactly.
deeper water.
That's
can
what I was
hold
gonna
your
say,
fish.
too.
The 2D, how big's the cone radius under 2D? Ain't it like
It's
32
under the
degrees or
boat.
something?
It's under the boat.
It's
yeah.
not real wide, but the thing is, with side scan,
It's way
you
more
can
detailed.
what is it, 75 to 100 foot
Oh,
usually?
dude, you can go
Sometimes
You can go
further than
300
that.
foot.
foot,
Yeah.
300 foot.
Yeah, and I mean that's covering a ton of water, and if you're just idling at the right speed, you're seeing
Okay,
everything.
but now you say you're idling at the right speed, you're using it, but does the current I mean, how does the current affect that? Because you're saying island, like you're talking about island in the lake at the right speed. You go a certain thing and you get,
Yeah.
but the current's coming this way.
Yeah,
Is that
so that's what
interference?
we're
is what's
talking about.
messing
It
with
could,
you?
it
2D.
could cause interference.
Your 2D is
Yeah.
going to be way more interfered by that than your side scan.
Yeah.
Okay, so side
Yeah.
scan, you're still good with
Yeah.
that.
Now, like I don't know if he fishes lay downs or any shoals or rock piles or something like that, but
He bass fishes basically for trout on rivers.
yeah.
Put it like
so
that.
like
So he's
when
still bass fishing.
when I
basically.
fished the Flint River down out of Seminole, we fished a BFL regional on Seminole, and we went up the Flint, and I went with a guy that, I mean, we're in current. I mean, like turn the trolling motor on high and go, and you're going to sit still current. And what he was doing was side scanning, marking those shoals.
Mm-hmm.
And with side scan, you can see a fish sitting behind a rock.
Yep. Then you just toss to
It's
it.
a little shadow, a little white dot. So if he's looking for those trout or those bass up in a lay down or on the backside of a rock pile, that's
Gotcha.
going to work big.
Okay, yeah. So a lot of people, current does not affect side scan. So there you go.
You know,
Thanks for the
there-
clarification, guys. That's interesting.
There's a
Yeah.
lot of people that say the technology is ruining fishing. I'm loving it, man.
Yeah, but I do think even like with I know like largemouth, I know I have the Garmin, and when I'm fishing docks, I turn it off.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
It pings really bad off of a dock,
Same
and
way.
it will. I believe that it will scare those fish, and you can even see like with the spots. I think they're getting used to that ping
Mhm.
for sure.
I mean,
That's what helps with the Garmin. You can cast to them versus being over top of them.
Okay.
that pinging, especially like when people's fishing the brush and stuff, and they get right over them.
Oh yeah, it's
Fish on Lanier and all these
You know, Larry?
Shattuck, Blue
That's my
Ridge,
dad.
all these,
How you doing, Mr. Tankersley?
they're all used to this pinging sound.
but even like on Chickamauga fishing for largemouth.
Oh yeah,
If you now there's a lot of shallow bars and stuff on Chickamauga, and if you get fish that have been out on a ledge for even just as little as a week
They
and
get
they've
beat
done
up
been
on.
scanned, if you scan over them and then go back, they're gone. They're so used to that ping coming over them that they'll run from it, and then that's another thing that helps staying way back off of them. But I've actually, like on your Garmin, you can see when you pull up to a dock, it'll throw like 5 to 8 foot of interference down off of the dock.
Mm-hmm.
And that's your ping.
Yeah.
That's coming at like that.
You know what's great? We all got Garmin's.
Yeah,
You have
I'm a hummingbird guy.
so
Hey,
you
he
need to get
needs a
360.
360. I was about to
We're
tell him he
getting
needs
it.
a
We're getting it
360.
and the live
Hummingbird
and the
fixing to
mega
come
live.
out with forward facing sonar.
Yeah, we're good. Yeah, we got actually the ones we just did an unboxing video today. We've got 2 of the Gen 4 9-inch helixes with the plus down. We got those, and we're going to add the 360 and the Mega Live to it in the future.
You got one at your console, right?
Well, yes.
You ain't gonna put them both at the front. Do you? Gonna put them
No, we're gonna
When
put the 9 on the front and the 9 and a 7 at the console.
when you're fishing, so you're gonna have a 9 and a 7.
Mm-hmm.
Have your 7 set on your contour lines,
Mm-hmm.
and then have the other one set on your side scan. Use that this weekend, and you will see what we're talking about.
Well, we might have to do that. So.
There ain't no might. You need to.
Derek White, technology is not ruining fishing. It's just giving the people on the short bus a fighting chance.
That's not true. There's a lot of guys that go out and spend all this money that can't read
that
electronics.
is true. Yes, you're absolutely
And
right. You're
and
absolutely
another
right.
big thing on electronics is settings.
Yeah.
That's
Dial it
90%
in.
of it.
Dial it in.
and Garmin, once like I just have the 4CV
Yeah.
on my kayak.
Yeah.
For me, it's perfect. Like,
Yeah.
would I like a bigger one? Yeah, but for $160,
Yeah.
it's very basic and it's user friendly. If you can read what you're looking at, you're fine. Like when I took it out on Lanier first night, I didn't have it dialed up right. Second day I took it out, I could mark every brush pile, every tree that was up in the bottom of the water, rock piles, the whole 9 yards.
Yeah.
It don't have the greatest sonar capability, but if you can read it, you'll be able to tell what you need.
Well, that's like, if and he's probably not on here tonight, but if LJ was on here, listen, he
Mention low rants, watch him blow his thumb.
oh
Do
Lord,
you not like Lawrence?
no, that's the L word. That's what he says. That's just his thing. He's a hummingbird guy,
Well, that's like me. I'm wanting to get rid of my
but
Lawrence.
he's a
L-Rance.
but he's a 2D guy. Just he uses 2D sonar 90% of the time.
This is
And-
just
and
It's just
because-
doesn't have forward facing sonar yet.
Right, it might be. All I know is I like Jeremiah says. I don't know. I smashed them from the bank, so it never made a difference to me. Maybe
So
whenever
he doesn't
I get
have
a
to
boat.
worry about the ping.
Yeah, he
interfering
don't.
with fish.
Well, that
And the fish,
that's true.
That I mean, he has a good point there because how often does a fish see a bait coming from deep water to shallow water?
All the time.
I'm talking about, people from the bank.
Oh,
When
yeah,
you're in a
you're-
boat,
you're
you're
seeing
casting
it
to the
more
bank.
Yes,
Sure.
yeah.
So that fish is never seeing your bait coming from deep water to the bank.
Right.
But I will tell you
It
this:
changes it up. That's very good.
What's one of my favorite things about that Garmin now is if I'm going down the bank or going down a point, and I'm one of them guys, man. I don't take the time I don't like to idle much unless I'm fishing ledges. I hate idling. I'm gonna pull up on a point and I start scanning that thing. Oh, there's a brush pile I didn't know about. Bing.
You just told me why you don't catch those spots in
I
40
know.
foot at Blue Ridge.
I know. Yeah, that's exactly right.
Is that-
I also
giving
told
up
you.
your
I also told,
secrets like
dude, I
this, so-
hate idling, man. I hate it. If I get on the lake, I'm wanting to fish, man.
I get what he's saying. What he's saying is finding brush that people spend hard work putting out is what I'm referring to.
But the thing is,
There's not a
That's-
safe brush pile anymore.
and it's
Yeah.
not your brush. Once that brush is sunk, that's the course.
Listen,
Yeah.
I actually, that's one of the things. Now,
There's
Derek,
a lot of people
I
bitch
realize.
about
Listen,
that.
yeah, I realize, and maybe it's just me coming from a smaller reservoir electric only thing. The first thing that we started learning when we started doing this podcast and everything
That's
is-
my brush.
is the brush game.
I sunk that. You don't
I
need to
sunk
be
the
on it.
brush, and people get
Get butt hurt.
they get a little upset if you're on there. But at the same time,
You sink that thing, and somebody's gonna find it within a
Oh,
week.
what do you
I know.
expect?
yeah,
You
I
know,
know.
what do you expect these
I know
days?
people that quit putting brush out because they're like, everybody's going to do it for me, and all I got to do is find it.
But the
That's-
thing
that's-
is,
yeah.
a lot of these brush piles, once the leaves are off, fish leave them.
I don't.
well-
I disagree with that.
But there's some of them.
yeah,
That
I-
brush is
now,
a lot
cane-
better when there's leaves on it.
exactly. I've seen cane piles.
Yeah.
like on Hartwell, the largemouth getting those cane piles.
I think it's interesting though, just the cane. I mean,
Yeah,
just the
yeah,
whole thing.
and
is
it's-
different.
And then I don't know if you've ever looked for it, but it is tough to find. I mean,
But if
They
you
don't
find-
mark, they don't mark like a
No.
regular brush pile. They
No.
don't send out the big.
it looks like a
Big thing.
shadow
Yeah.
straight up, and you will bypass one quick.
Mhm.
I got it. And again, and I'm not. I hope Derek, you understand what I'm saying because I know a lot of guys do a lot of work, but that's the one of the first
I
things
like
that
what
I do.
Michael said. It's
What's
like
it?
putting a deer stand up on Dawson Forest and leaving it. It's fair game.
Yeah,
That's
And
that's kind of true.
Derek says timing. I'm a 100%
Yeah.
firm believer in timing.
Yeah, that's
I've
true.
fished brush piles, and somebody come behind me 30 minutes later, and
Whack 'em.
those fish are pulled in that brush
Yes.
pile eating.
But that's the same with the rock. It's the same with anything like that.
Even
It's-
with ledges up on
Exactly.
Chicken Mike, you can sit there and
Watch them
scan
come on and
scan
off
fish that you cast, don't catch them, run back an hour
Yeah, I
later.
know, buddy. I
30
wasn't. I
pounds.
wasn't saying that you did, Derek. I just there's some people that do. I have actually been told of just
Yeah.
fights just
I-
over
It's like
brush
a
piles.
soap opera on the lake.
I
It's
mean,
like-
I had that happen to me this year. I ran to a spot. Apparently, that's where they was going first. I didn't know. It's a tournament, dude. We beat you there, but he said I should have told an ass whooping home that day.
Now, there's one thing that I have experienced that just flies all over me is I've had people, especially I'll have people that have never fished Lake Blue Ridge before, and they come and fish a tournament, and they're 300 yards away in a pocket, and I pull up on a point and fish a brush pile, and they'll watch me catch 3 or 4 big ones.
And they'll come over and
The
mark.
very next week, they'll try to beat you to that hole.
Yeah,
That's different.
okay. So yeah, and that gets into more etiquette. More of the etiquette
Yeah.
thing. I just think that a brush pile once you put it out,
Oh, it's fair game.
it's fair game. But I understand you're like, man, I did all that work, but at the same time, it's just. And there's so many of them. I fished with some guys. There's 18 billion brush piles in Lake Lanier.
That's the thing.
And that goes back to the largemouth. A lot of people don't think that those largemouth will get out there in that brush, and they will.
Shit.
Biggins.
Shit.
Yes,
Go throw you a big old shaky head with a 12-inch
Yeah.
worm on it.
Yeah.
You ain't
Yeah.
catching no rinky dink spots with a 12-inch worm,
Well,
boys.
And Jonathan said there's a 15-year-old brush pile on Blue Ridge that hope. Yeah, exactly.
Can I
That's-
ask you
that's
something about
placing.
Blue Ridge? What is that big thing out in the middle? There and just we're gonna change subjects real quick. And I know listen, but I gotta ask.
big thing out in the middle.
Listen,
This is
Josh
going
and I,
down
it's like a
the
fish
rabbit hole.
attractor
That's
kind
a
of thing.
dam?
No, listen, Josh
The
and I
fish
put it.
attractors.
It's kind of like fish attractors or
Where?
something, but on Blue Ridge, like I don't know the lake like you do. So we put in like if you were crossing the dam, and like if I was standing on the dam and I'm facing the lake, you keep on going to your right, and
He's
not
probably
the
talking
marina,
about-
but there's a small boat ramp back in there?
Lakewood to the
Okay,
left.
is that Lakewood? It
Yeah.
comes out in a small
Yeah.
arm.
Yeah.
So you get out in that big kind of open pocket right there, right before you get to the river, and there's some kind of contraption, there's markers and stuff right out there. Yeah, Josh and I fished
He's thinking about the wrong place. He's probably thinking about the markers in front of the marina.
You talking about the markers in front of the marina?
There's like 6 or 7 of them. That's just a big flat out there.
Is that what it is? Because these are something. I don't know. We'll talk about it off air. I just want to know if you do.
I'm trying to figure out where.
You'll
I
have to
fish
show me on the
that.
map.
I fish that lake a lot, so I mean,
You'll have to show me on the
I
map.
haven't seen what you're
There's a
talking
lot
about.
of fish attractors in that lake.
Yeah,
But that must have been what we're
And a
talking
lot
about.
of people have cut the buoys.
They've cut the buoys so that you don't know where they're at.
I don't really. I mean, everybody knows where they're at, but
yeah. I mean, you
So
pull
what
this-
are they? I think it was a fish tractor, but what are they?
it's just pipe. They either use pipe crates, stuff like that.
It's just like a brush pile.
But is it
structure.
something that the TVA put
Yeah,
out?
yeah,
Or-
yeah.
Okay, so TVA put it out there. That's not people.
If
doing
you
it,
look,
so-
if you look on some Lanier maps, not on your graphs, a lot of the actual lake maps, it shows fish attractors, and a lot of the DNRs and stuff like that. They'll take these 4 to 6 inch PVC and they'll cut holes in it and run other pipes through it,
Yeah.
kind of like a brush pile.
well, like they're doing like crappy stuff like
Yeah,
that.
it's just so it lasts basically forever.
Yeah.
Speaking of good attractors, those ones up by 6 Mile at the bridge. They're
Don't
getting
be giving
loaded.
away
They're
secrets.
getting loaded.
Secrets, but okay. All right, so let's
Well, here's a secret.
What?
What kind of braid did you use to rip that hook out of?
Looks like
this right here. It is 20-pound Yozuri. 20-pound Yozuri.
but you had to double it up.
Dude,
I
he
did
didn't
double
double it up.
He
He
did-
about put
that-
8 strands around
I
each
did.
bar.
It looks like
Because
you had
hey, what did I tell him?
Plastic pallet.
What did I tell him?
one chance.
Carter's has a lot of pallets on them.
Yeah.
Carter's is a
Pallets and
okay.
Christmas trees.
But yeah, Yozuri braid. Definitely some Yozuri.
You fish
braid
Carter's a
swingers.
lot?
Not a ton,
Yeah.
but
Okay.
Hate that lake.
Well, okay.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's
they
a good
don't.
lake.
Yeah.
It's a good lake.
Got
There's
any
big fish
largemouth in it?
There
Yeah, it
is.
does.
There's some big ones
there's
in
some
there.
big ones in there.
Okay. Well, it's not known for
Yeah,
No,
it's
it's
not
not.
known
largemouth.
for 'em.
It's not, but in the spring you can definitely catch them.
There was
Okay.
a big one caught
Yeah.
2 years ago.
The only thing that hurts that place, especially when the largemouth trying to spawn, is it fluctuates so
Yeah,
much.
they pull it so much.
So those fish will actually bed a little deeper to where
Because of the
water's not gonna
fluctuations.
mess
Harder
with
Is that
to
why
see 'em.
they're now? Does Alatoona hold a decent largemouth?
it. Yeah,
Altoona's got a lot of largemouth on it, but the thing is, they
I know they
They
pull the lake really low, and I know
During the
it
wintertime-
screws up the most where they're sitting, because a lot of those areas that I seen, we were out a month and a half ago.
yeah they ain't even
And
started putting water in the lake. Then.
65% of the lake where we were going to fish.
yeah.
You need to wait until
Now
they
that
start
won't
putting
mess with
water
them this time of year.
because they ain't looking to spawn.
Yeah,
But the lake, once they put the lake in full pool, it don't fluctuate that much. But I think they start drawing it down in October,
Yeah.
September.
have you ever fished Carter's?
No.
So Carter's, like they said, it has a re-reg. So they pump water in and out.
Yeah.
So those largemouth, sometimes they'll like to spawn up there in 12 inches of water. And that lake can drop 12 inches in
A
10 hours.
So the big lake drops as much. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
okay. So I mean,
you
I
can
have
literally
Be on the
you can
lake
put
and you
in
can
the
watch
boat
it.
ramp of a morning and come back, and the water will either be 10, 12 inches high or 10 or 12 inches low.
That lake's
I mean,
fun
you
to
can
fish when
see-
it's flooded.
And the best time to fish is when they're pumping water in.
coming from the re-reg into Carter's. Okay. Now
Yeah.
with the largemouth, does that fire them up like it would a
It will,
spot?
but they like I said, they're going to bed a little deeper, and there's a lot of laydowns on Carter's, so that's where you're going to find
If
most of
they're
them
in
there.
if they're in the water. That's the
Yeah.
If you can pick one lake, not named Chickamauga or Eufaula, because I hear them all the time,
Yeah.
but in the southeast and preferably in Georgia, but it doesn't have to be, to go target a trophy largemouth.
Chittoog.
Yeah.
Dude, there's
Used to
some,
be a lot better than it is. I'll
Giants.
have to Notley.
Notley and
say, I've only
Chittoog.
been on Notley about 3 times,
Yeah,
but
it's got F1s in it.
Notley does?
They've been stocking F1s in there for close to 10 years.
When we going? When
It's got
we go-
F1s
Hey,
in it.
Did,
Yeah.
did you see that little smile?
Dude,
Man, he was like,
listen.
Yeah.
Ask Jonathan.
Listen.
You know as well as I do. Ask Jonathan that he's going to say Notley.
I
Yeah.
wish so bad that they had put F1s in one here.
Say farmer right there, Notley.
There's every spring, every winter, there's fish over 10 pounds caught in there.
well, what's that lake south of Stone Mountain that I seen they just started putting trophy spots into?
Trophy spots.
Spots.
Yeah, I seen something on the DNR that they were just putting 6 pound plus spots.
I have
I think it
no
was
idea.
somewhere south
I don't know.
of Stone Mountain.
I have no
I'll
Cooper
look
idea.
says
that up.
Burton.
Well,
Burton has went downhill a lot in the last 8 to 10 years, big time. Burton has monster spots in it. I mean, if I'm looking, I mean, besides Lanier, if I'm going to
Yeah, I
chase
think
a
that
trophy spot, Burton's,
I think that was the one that they were stocking.
Burton is
yeah.
full of big spots.
well, Burton's got a lot of trout, a lot of bait deep
Yeah,
up there,
yeah.
a lot of food.
And that's a lot what has hurt the largemouth. But
Notley's got monsters.
Yeah,
a
that's-
fish hawk says.
that's-
Well, okay, and how big is Notley? I know farmers told me, but
it's bigger than Blue Ridge. Not by much. I don't know exactly on the
it's a
acreage,
typical
but
TVA size
yeah,
lake.
Yeah, it's in between Blue Ridge and Chateau on
Okay.
size.
What is it that makes an F1 bass so desirable to have?
They're just
And explain the difference. There's F1 and what?
and just like the northern strain largemouth.
Okay, so what is an F1 though?
And F1 is like what they stock in Florida.
Okay,
That's a lot of what they stock in Florida, and they like to. That's why they do so good in Chickamauga. They love to be in vegetation,
okay,
vegetation, grass, and then like in Florida when it gets hot, they're going to pull offshore in the brush or like Chickamauga offshore on ledges. They grow faster. They're a lot healthier fish. Like your northern strain is a long, slender.
mm-hmm.
You'll catch an F1 like on Chickamauga. You'll catch an F1 that's not even a keeper, and it's 2 3/4 pounds.
Because
they're
of
just-
length.
They're just a lot healthier fish.
Okay, Notley is a little under 4,200
Yeah.
acres. Already pulled 3 tens out of Notley this year. So why does Notley not get the notoriety or attention that it should if it's such a great trophy lake? Is it just because of location?
Maybe. And I mean, there's really honestly, like when Blue Ridge gets packed, Chateau gets packed, you can go to Notley and there's nowhere near the pressure. For whatever reason, I don't know. And Notley's a good spot fishery as well, but I mean, it's got a ton of largemouth in it.
Okay, so there you go. F1 is a pure largemouth strain originally from Florida, grow faster, longer growing season, hardy fish.
Exactly.
Yep,
Casey Blanton says it right, footballs.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so why
Honestly,
not?
no, because here's the thing.
No?
No.
Why would you not put F1s in Lanier?
Look at how pressurized that lake is.
They don't have nothing to do with putting F1s in there. You start running them things up the river, they're going to have plenty of places to hide and spawn and get bigger.
And look at how many fish come out of Lanier on a yearly basis.
So you don't think it'd be
I think it's too much of a temperature thing for them.
No. If F1s can live in Chickamauga, Gunnersville, Notley, they're going to survive in Lanier. It don't matter the temperature.
I don't think it would be.
you think it'd be a little different? You just
I don't think it would be a good idea because I mean you got guys, and I'm not saying it negatively, but you have guys that are keeping spawning females right now. You put F1s in there with the hope of them breeding and putting better fish in the lake, and you're pulling.
That's in every lake, though.
I get that in every lake, but you have lakes. If you got guys that are targeting these trophy fish, they're respecting them. And I'm
Here's
not saying,
here's
I'm
the
not
thing,
saying
though.
the guys on Lanier don't do that, but I see more nonchalant. Oh, look, fish home for dinner.
Well, yeah, I can totally agree with that, but you got to look at it this way: a 2.5 pound Florida strand is going to spawn. How many eggs does a bass lay? You think?
There's no telling.
It's putting them out
Well,
there. Putting them out there.
you know,
putting them out there.
Philip, he puts a point. Lanier is going downhill, fellas, and one of the reasons
I
that
agree
he
with
was
that.
saying it, and it's not so much. It has nothing to do with the fishing pressure, and he might have that. But we were talking, I think, the first time he was here about the water quality in Lanier, given the age of the lake. There he goes. Lanier needs an oxygen system like Notley in it, and that would be a very big
Blue Ridge
undertaking.
has one as well.
Yeah, and that would be a big undertaking.
Phil's the man, dude. He's so
Phil's very
smart.
knowledgeable.
He's so smart.
I don't know
Great
if
beard,
you ever
great
go
beard.
across Blue Ridge Dam, but when they're running that, you can actually see bubbles
Mm-hmm.
all the way out through the main lake,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what the yellow lines coming in there at the dam are.
Those are the oxygen
lines.
lines like that. So too many tournaments going on, right? And I want to say this too about Lanier. There is a lot of tournaments.
It's every
And I
weekend.
think every lake has periods of 2 to 3 years where it's
Downhill.
phenomenal, and then you're going to have 2 to 3 years where it's
It's very
way down.
cyclical, like
Yeah.
you're saying.
I mean, look at Chickamauga.
and that
Like-
goes a lot like if there's a good spawn, if there's a bad spawn,
Mhm.
if there's a shad kill, if there's not a
Right.
shad kill, all that has to play with it.
Yeah, and Lanier just had a shad kill not that long ago.
And like we was talking about before we got on the podcast, back when I first started fishing Chickamauga, dude, on the ledges, you could go catch 20, 25 pounds on a swim bait.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't tell you the last swim bait bite I've had up there.
Yeah,
It's been probably 3 years since I've actually been able to go catch them on a
7
swim bait.
tournaments on Lanier this past weekend, and I know
There's 6 Saturday.
six Saturdays.
There's-
Is that counting yours?
Yes.
Counting yours.
And that's another reason, like these smaller lakes, like Blue Ridge, there's 3 boat ramps, and one of them is closed all through the summer.
Which one is that?
The marina.
The marina.
And you
See, I
can,
thought- I
and
thought
the
you
other
couldn't
ones are
even put it
not
in
big
there.
enough for parking to have
Oh,
a
no, I mean,
tournament. Yeah.
Like Lakewood probably has 30
Which
parking spots.
Which one's the one that we was talking about where they just put in the new walkway?
Well, that's Lakewood.
Yeah, man, it's hard to get in there, especially during the summertime.
And
You
then
got
there's
people.
Green Creek, and it's
Yeah.
about the same size.
Yeah.
High school tournament on Sunday there this week, and the high school tournaments are pretty big. And
My
but
brother finished second in that this weekend.
did he finish second?
He got second place. Big Fish,
Congratulations.
second place.
That's very good. The thing about, and Cooper Fish is for the middle school, Lumpkin County Middle School. So closed tournaments 5 years. We have Giants. Yeah, you possibly would. I
They're
don't
not closing tournaments on there.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, that-
Thoughts on
the state would
Nathan?
lose too much money.
There's
Nick.
already Giants out there. anyways.
Well, here's my thoughts on Latham. Past few years, a lot of tournaments, a lot of pressure.
We know the real reason.
Well,
Danny.
the real reason,
Paddle boards and yoga.
huh?
Hell
Paddleboard
yeah.
yoga. That's how they closed it for paddleboard yoga that they're supposedly having over there now. Actually, they're stocking, or not stocking, they're tagging bass right now over at Latham.
When did they start that?
They just started it this year. They're going to tag 450 total. I think they've tagged some. Terry was posting about it. They've tagged some, and supposedly when you catch tagged fish, they want you to weigh it, they want you to measure it, and they want you to let it go right there. But they want you to mark the spot that you caught it in, so they can kind of take track on these fish like that. I got
Can
a
we
lot. A lot of locals were keeping a lot of fish on Latham.
Yeah, I was about to say the tagging system ain't really going to do nothing when you still got guys going out there keeping everything.
But they can't now.
Yeah, they.
Oh, they're not even.
Oh, no,
letting
no,
them
no,
take
no,
out
no, no,
anymore.
no, no. It's catch and release only. You cannot
Yeah,
have a
Oh,
bass
that's
in the
going to be
live well.
great for that lake then.
Yeah, you cannot.
That's
You,
gonna be
you
great.
Yeah,
can-
that was
over
a big-
120 right now.
That was a big discussion. I know that one night in the show because everybody was complaining because the signs were put up about no fishing
Tournaments
no,
and stuff. Yeah.
no tournaments, no gas motors, and no
the gas
cooking.
motors is it's always been
Or-
like that.
Yeah, but
You cannot have you.
going for that cheese.
Get
Yeah.
your hand out of that.
That's
What
like, eat
happened?
that
To,
cheese,
what happened?
buddy.
To that ain't no good.
No bass can be kept. They
Oh,
can't
did
be
you hear
put in your.
that?
But not even supposed to be put in the live well. I think it'll help that lake come back.
It will.
But
hey,
Why we
hey,
cheese?
everybody
There you
come
go.
get you some of this. It's good
it's some
stuff.
good stuff. It's
There's a big UFC fight
That's
this
right.
weekend, boys. Come get you
Hey,
some.
listen, and they actually they're really good for a whole Saturday when you're fishing. You get beef jerky and stuff like that. Those things are a good substitute like that if you just get tired of the same old stuff like that. There you go. Wowega.
I just seen
Why
something
we get
Yeah,
about-
look,
cheese
they
curds.
put how to pronounce it, Blake.
Yeah, shut up.
Wowega. There you go.
Bring that comment up right there with Fish Atlanta.
Fish Atlanta. Now, yes. Reader. Okay. So only the first. Generally, after that, the generation they refer to as FX. Most Georgia fish are FX of various generations. I have no idea. It sounds good to me.
I just wish that they would do a stocking program in Lanier. Like, yes, I know they put thousands of striper, thousands of walleyes. Why not start putting some largemouth in there?
Money thing. I guess I have no
I
idea.
guess
I don't know the
Blue
answer to
Ridge
that.
tried putting smallmouth in, and
Yeah,
they're making spot candy.
Spot candy.
they eating them up.
Well, but I will say this: there's another thing too. Back to Latham. Latham has spots too in it, and the
Yes.
spots were getting really big when they were putting the bait in. The spots blew up. It's always had spotted bass in it. They came in for the Yellow Creek and the Etowah. They've always had it in there. Even before the gates opened, there were spotted bass in Latham as it was filling up. Now, I think there's a lot of people think it's a lot of people say, there's a lot of locals keeping fish. Yes, but I think the largemouth are suffering
Because of spots.
because of the spots.
Spots will spots.
Eat double the amount of food.
They eat double the amount, but they're also bullies. I've heard scenarios that
Well, a
a
largemouth-
spot will eat the fins off largemouth. I don't know if that's true, but I've been told.
Well,
they're more territorial.
they're more
That's
territorial.
why the smallmouth has been hugely deplenished in
Yeah.
breeders because a spot will actually come in and take over and interbreed with breeding smallmouth.
Mhm.
And then you have a
main
crossbreed.
mouth.
Crossbreeding, you
And
get
then
the
if a
crossbreed stuff like that.
crossbreed breeds with another spot, then it's full spot.
And I will say this: like in the summer on Latham, late summer, and you catch a largemouth, he looks terrible. He's skinny. You catch one that's got a
normal.
Yeah, it's normal, but you
It's
catch
like
the
out
same
on Lanier,
spot, you
too.
catch the same spot that time on Latham,
Fat.
and they're fat and healthy, you know. And it's just they're built, their machines are built to do that, and the bait on Latham fluctuates in size. In the early spring, it's bigger, and also they had a big brim kill over there. Yeah, they had a brim kill off.
What caused that?
Who knows? It could be anything from the golf course to I don't know,
Huh.
but they
And
did.
I agree with that there.
What's that?
The herring produce longer, skinnier largemouth with fatter spots.
Probably so.
Yeah.
That makes perfect
That's
sense.
true.
That's like why, Chickamauga doesn't have herring. I mean, not
There's some spots in there,
as
though.
many as other lakes.
Yeah.
It's different. And
What's
there's,
the main forage up there at Donley?
There's a lot of gizzard shad in Notley.
Yeah.
do you think gizzard shad is the best all around bait for any type of stocking thing?
I don't
Dude,
know.
Because
they
I can tell you,
fatten them up.
Rocky Mountain's got nothing but gizzard
Oh,
shad.
look at the
My
size of the bass
good.
in there too.
They're monsters. They're monsters, but it's
I
gizzard
think for
shad.
largemouth for sure.
Yeah.
So that would be like if you were having a lake, gizzard shad would be the best. That you would prefer
Yeah.
that over anything. What is that? Should there be a share lunker program in Georgia like Texas? Set the bar lower at 10 pounds instead of the 13, though.
I'd like to see it done. I mean, if they had put a slot limit in for fish that you could actually keep, kind of like how they do in Texas, I think it would help. But the thing is, I mean, there's even in Texas, there's people that still break that and take anything home.
Yeah, I've heard the blueback is what
Yeah.
hurts the largemouth. Yes,
Yeah.
because of the bedding situation. the
Bluebacks
spawn.
will eat the piss out
And
of their fry.
Yeah, they eat the fry. Largemouth keep the spots down because of no bluebacks on a TVA lake. Well, it's possible, I guess. All I know is on Latham is the only lake that I fish a lot that I know that's got spots and the largemouth. But again, this was a different year too, and I mean, the lakes got hammered, when COVID first started this year too. So, trout are the best feeder for trophy largemouth. Go up here to Big Canoe. They'll let you know that for sure.
Yep.
Y'all know they have the Georgia Bass Slam. Yes, they do. People will always break the law. I'm hitting these comments pretty quick.
Should we do
Yeah,
some
they
rapid
will.
fire since we're kind of rapid fire and everything?
Rapid fire. Did I
Yeah,
even
let's
have the
rapid
questions? Let's do. We got
Box should be done here.
Box
soon,
here. We'll
besides
do 2 or 3 rapid fire questions. Let's get it
you.
going.
In the show.
Okay, yeah.
5 minutes left.
So let's see.
Who sponsored Rapid Fire, Danny?
I don't know right now. Who does?
FX Rods,
FX.
Viawaga Cheese,
Mad Shark Charter.
Mad Shark Charters,
I'm sitting here trying to do this. Here we go. All right, we're just start naming them off.
Georgia Blade,
all of them.
Humminbird,
Elko, Sonar Pros,
True
Minn-Kota.
Grit Tackle.
Those are yeah, y'all are crazy. Here we go. All right. First of all, we're
400
gonna start here at Speece. We're gonna go with you. You get just boom, hit it quick. Favorite line brand. Favorite line brand. What do you throw?
I have Berkeley and Power Pro.
There you go. Boom. What's your
Cigar.
Sunline.
Sunline? Okay, I'm a P line guy. Buzzbait. Do you have a skirt or a horny toad?
Don't throw a buzzbait.
Okay,
Horny Toad.
Skirt.
I'm a skirt guy too myself.
We have
Here we go. Largemouth versus smallmouth.
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 Small. Huh?
Oh, but it says what's your favorite?
Smallmouth.
Smallmouth still your favorite? I don't
Even
know.
though I don't catch many of them, I love them.
Favorite flutter? Oh, I'm gonna say largemouth. I'm the southern boy. I'm supposed to be.
Yeah.
I'm a southern boy. Favorite flutter spoon color? Back.
Silver.
Yeah.
Silver.
Usually I say
Original.
chrome.
I'm on white.
Chrome. silver,
White.
whatever.
Favorite shaky head brand?
Don't throw them.
True Grit Tackle.
Nah, listen, there you go.
I throw an owner.
Huh?
I throw an owner.
An owner?
Shaky head.
An owner shaky head? I like True Grit Tackle, but I tell you what, the 706 one was pretty good. All right.
It's pricey.
What's the best time for frogs?
Any time of the year with pads.
Hell no.
Okay, that's okay. What's yours? Best time for frogs?
Spring till it gets cold.
My goodness, that's just
I just like spring and fall.
there you
Spring
go.
and fall. But
Least we're gonna start going backwards with you. Least favorite lake.
Least favorite.
Least favorite lake. You guys would suck on this. It was a game show and it was
I
huh?
like them all.
You gotta have a least favorite.
Right now, probably Burton.
Okay.
Carter's drain it and let the coon dogs have it.
Lanier.
What?
Lanier? Your least favorite Lake's Lanier?
It's my favorite.
Mine's
Least-
Yahula.
it's
Now,
least
granted,
favorite
I'm
and my
talking. I'm
favorite.
back on the small reservoir guy like me. So, favorite crash, favorite lake.
Me?
Yeah,
Backwards.
Favorite what?
favorite lake.
I guess all around. I guess around here would be Blue Ridge.
Okay, all right.
Chickamauga.
Lanier.
Y'all gonna hate me for this, but I'm gonna tell you Allatoona.
Ah,
You know
That's
what?
because it's the only place he catches.
That's
them
exactly
anymore.
right.
That's all there
That's
is.
exactly right. That's exactly right. Best jig color in clear water.
I just like a green pumpkin.
Okay,
fall crawl.
which is a brownish.
Hell, I don't know. It's a fall crawl. True grit tackle makes it, and it's
There
a
you
damn
go.
good jig.
There you go.
Green pumpkin.
Green pumpkin. I'm a green pumpkin guy too. All right, let's go back to you, Speece, real quick. Big fish bait. What is the best one for you? If you're going for a big fish.
Swim bait.
Swim bait.
All right, we're going back to you there, Dalton. Last time you fished with a bobber or a
This
float,
winter with a floating fly.
float and fly. Okay. Oh, good answer. Good answer.
Saturday because I was crappie fishing.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, about 3 weeks ago. Crappie fishing.
Mine would have been crappie fishing last year. Your favorite rod, Speece.
Lose.
Okay.
FX.
G Loomis.
G Loomis. I'm an
Big
FX.
money.
I'm an FX guy. I got rid of my G Loomises for my FX. I'll tell you something. The best all around bait company, Dalton.
For hard baits, everything.
Yeah, it's just a base. It says best bait company, but let's go soft plastics.
I like Trickster.
Trickster. That's right. You're a trickster guy.
Soft plastics. Striking.
Fruity worms.
Fruity worms. You know what?
I'm going to kiss LJ's rear end. Drop shot worms are on point.
Okay, there you go. I like trickster. I like trickster stuff, but I
like his
depends too.
cheese.
Yeah, I like that cheese. Best spinner bait. Okay, let's go best hard bait.
Best hard bait company.
Yeah.
I think right now,
Give it-
there's a lot of
give
them
it to
coming,
me.
but one
Give
that
it to me.
makes
Give it to
every
me.
single thing, and they're getting big is Berkeley. As far as
They get
hard
ready to be in this store.
Thank you.
6 cents all
6 cents,
day
I'm
long.
getting
You know
ready.
why I'm going to say no to 6 cents? Because they don't make a whopper plopper, but I'm going.
Berkeley, we're
Berkeley
good.
as
Berkeley, we're getting ready to have
They're
a
having-
whole
let me
bunch
have
of Berkeley
everything.
stuff
Yeah,
in the
they
every
store.
got,
hard
they
bait.
got
Yep.
Choppos.
Choppo. I'm even going to have the Choppos for you
Now we
Are
guys.
are
you
So
actually going to
Choppo?
throw one?
Does it sound
Yeah,
better
I'll
than
throw
water
one.
plop?
Yeah, Choppo I can because I like tacos too
Yeah,
and stuff
okay.
like Choppo's got that nice, you know.
Are you gonna
6
throw one?
cents
I will. I ain't throwing a
day.
Whopper plopper. If
It's the same
called,
thing.
I don't care. It's called a Whopper plopper. I ain't throwing it.
It's the same damn thing.
I don't care. It's not a Whopper plopper. It's a
We should
Choppo.
make Danny throw the disco rat for a full day.
No. All right. So best spin. We're going to do 2 more. Best spinnerbait color. Clearwater.
There's one by Eagle Claw called Spot Remover.
Okay. What color is it though? I mean,
It's just like a. Have you ever seen the Sexy Shad color Kitech?
yeah.
It's similar to that.
All right, Blake.
Spot sticker mini me's.
Okay.
Yeah. Any of their colors.
Any other colors?
Yeah.
I have a KBD that's white, orange, and chartreuse.
Okay.
Sexy shed.
Yeah.
Says okay. So I'm going to say actually we bought the company, but Castleberry when he put out the injured herring, I like that the
You
best.
have one of them. You
I
ain't
have
put any
one of
more
those.
out.
Well, we're going to make some more.
You need to
All right.
get
So
to
last
that.
question. What everybody and I love this, and I actually picked this one out, guys. This is the way. What's your least favorite top water?
Danny.
Well,
I
gee.
just stuck my hand. We
let's
don't come
just
up with
go
any
over
questions.
this.
I know what yours. is
Danny,
gonna
what's
be.
your answer? Oh, the Whopper plopper and disco rat. There, took care of your answer.
You want to
Least
know which
favorite?
one I hate worse though?
What?
The disco rat. That's just that's the.
You just hate it because it's different.
I hate it because it's purple and yellow and it looks like it comes from
Well, you know
5
what I'm
points.
going to say? The damn gunfish. You know why the gunfish is? Because it's basically a spook, just a slimmer version.
I'm not a fan of spooks, honestly.
I love spooks. What
I
about
will
you?
throw.
I
I,
like spot fishing on herring lakes.
What's the difference between a gunfish and a spook? Who gives a shit? It's the same thing. It's the same thing. It's the same thing.
Go to Chattooga in the summer and throw a cane walker and throw a spook. See which one you get bit on more.
I came walking because I want to kick my partner out of the back of the boat when he picks one up.
But
and
my
outfishes me with it.
least favorite. Have you seen real gaudy looking topwater Savage Gear has been making.
Yes.
The duck and the
Yes.
That's what I'm
The
talking
bat.
about. That's what I think the
What are
rats
those
is.
spiders.
The
What are
Spider's
those ones,
ridiculous.
those ducks that have like the paddle
Yeah.
arms?
Yeah,
Like, you
it's
walk-
the savage.
Okay,
It's the Savage
To me,
Gear junk.
okay, listen, that's junk.
Yeah.
But that to me is what the rat is.
The rat.
The
The
rat-
rat catches fish.
Have you guys ever heard of Toxic Baits?
Yes.
In California.
Yes.
I'm real good buddies with that guy. He helps me out a lot, and he has what's called a micro mink.
Yeah, I've seen it. It's big as shit.
Not the small one. I mean, he has glide baits and
I like that bluegill thing.
and
he makes.
bluegill wakes, but he has a rat,
Yeah.
and I'm just here to tell you it catches them.
Okay, but no, but
But
Blake,
it's like
listen, no, hold on a
130
second.
bucks, ain't it?
If
Hold
it's
on a
natural
second.
looking, it's okay. But because of the fact it looks like the Minnesota Vikings made it, now it's not. Now it's not okay. Danny,
No, the thing is that Toxic Bait, he makes some sweet stuff,
Yeah,
man.
Blake's going on probation. No, I let. Yeah,
Because I said shit.
yes,
I forgot. This is an adult podcast.
it is.
it is after
It
10.
is.
We're
It is
clear.
after 10. We're letting you go.
I'm sorry, but
But YouTube still, you don't realize YouTube still goes through, and when they hear that, it depends on
Danny,
whether I can monetize.
there is a
it.
lot
I
worse on YouTube
understand,
than
I
me saying
understand,
shit. You
I
know it.
I understand. I
Yeah,
understand.
you got Cardi B on YouTube.
I
I mean, come
understand.
on.
I,
Listen,
listen, listen,
Grammy,
oh my goodness.
Boy, we gonna get it, son. This is America.
I don't
The
even
hell with
want-
Winnie the Pooh and Dr. Seuss,
the
boys.
spider.
Wop, baby, wop.
I don't even think I could make myself tie on the spider lure.
Oh, I wouldn't either.
Dude, it's so goofy looking.
But what I was going to say before Potty Mouth over there got talking is, I don't mind the rat bait itself.
Y'all should
It's
hear
that
Danny when we ain't
purple
podcast.
and yellow and that disco looking color that I don't like. I get a brown one with a brown tail, and I get the black one, and I even get the white one.
You know,
But I don't get the one that looks like the bowl of Lucky Charm cereal stuff.
I'm
like
just
that.
going to
don't
give
care.
Jeremiah credit here, and I'm sorry. The dude throws it. He catches bigger fish than you do in your tournament. So his
What are you
goof-
talking about?
tournament. Where do we go straight to the dome? Where are we at?
What are you
I
talking
missed
about
something.
straight to the dome?
Yeah. Like, I just want to know where this went because I was making.
with that cheap shot about, Jeremiah catches bigger fish.
I thought you were talking about.
Oh, everybody
Oh.
catches bigger fish than me. I ain't worried about that. I told you this.
Danny couldn't catch
Step-
a fish if he had a damn dip net and they was jumping out of the lake.
You know what's
Listen,
funny?
Adam.
You know how Mario skunks all the time, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I went and I was at main event the other night. I was that bored, so I'm sitting there playing the Wizard of Oz coin pusher. I got
Hold on a second.
two.
What the hell is the Wizard of
What's
Oz?
the Wizard
Okay.
of Oz coin pusher?
It's basically you sit there, put your
I guess I
tokens
might
in.
learn how to
and
That
do
you
sounds
try-
like something you would buy the disco rat at.
no. It's
The Wizard of
Okay.
Oz coin
long
pusher.
story short.
Usually you have to pay double for that sort of act.
Hey, hush, loser.
This is going downhill fast. Josh is probably he's dying if he's watching. This.
He's probably laughing.
No, Josh, don't laugh.
Hush, keep it
Well,
going.
take us home, Danny.
No, don't take us home. It's a good
let me
podcast.
finish it. Let me
Okay,
hear
so
this comment.
You know those back when you were a kid, those little fishing sets that had the plastic with the magnet, and you'd catch the fish that open and close their mouth that spun around. I got Mario one of those, and he's getting it on Thursday. That way, he never skunks again. Maybe I'll get a second one for you.
The second one for me.
keep it on
Danny
your
needs one of them when he sits in the bathtub and it's got the little magnet and he can catch fish like that in the bathtub. Look, honey, look what I got.
You'll see these
Listen,
fish.
I have
Georgia
to, I
fixes.
have to listen. It's okay. You have to let the kids play and let them say their little pieces so they feel good about themselves. But it's okay.
It's okay. I'm a northerner and a hick, and
And you say
Yeah.
twenty.
20.
Probably call it a
We're going to
derby.
fish the 20
A
this
derby.
Saturday.
We got a derby.
Are you actually fishing it?
50 boat derby.
You fishing this Saturday? Or are you just
No,
No.
the messed up thing is my work schedule. I was supposed to have Saturday off all day.
Uh-huh.
Now I gotta go do the registration, leave there, go to work till 3, get done with
There you
work,
go.
deal with all the nonsense deal with everything on Facebook because all the guys are going to be posting the pictures
Yeah.
on the group page. Go to Sherry's Barbecue, set up, start getting numbers filled out. And yeah.
Now you want to know why we don't catch fish in tournaments? Because that's the kind of crap that Josh and I have to do on Saturdays.
well, you
We're
know
filming.
what? If I was fishing, at least I'd put some effort into catching them.
Well,
What?
I'm gonna kick him.
What?
I'm
Hey,
just gonna
can we
kick
do a
him.
fantasy bass thing for this weekend?
Oh yeah, seriously,
Yeah.
guys, I forgot all about it. So
Good
for all
call.
of the fantasy group guys, get your picks in by tomorrow. They're fishing Pickwick. Should be a really good tournament. I know the lake's probably gonna be dirty from all the rain, but dude, there's gonna be some big bags of smallmouth. So if you're in the fantasy fishing group on our group, get your picks in by tomorrow, or you will miss out. Forgot all
good.
about that. I'm glad you brought that up. I was
Sounds
thinking
good.
about that at work today.
I just figured we'd have an over under.
What about a basketball tournament? Did we do anything with the basketball?
When's it start?
March Madness already started.
Oh yeah, we're too
It
late.
should-
now.
it-
No,
I-
you still can get your things in because like,
Brackets?
yeah.
I don't think you could if it's already started.
No. They got the couple playing games that start like tonight, but the big stuff doesn't start till like Thursday.
I don't do
I'm
none
not
of March
even
Madness.
Everything's been so screwed up because of that Chinese virus. But
I don't do none of that junk.
There you go, Brian.
The
No, Brian,
China-
that's okay. I
the
let
China virus. Mo, I made a lot of people mad today because one,
you and Danny got something in common, then, Mario.
what?
what's that? What we got? Skunking. Hey, it starts Thursday, so I might put a bracket out tomorrow. I think ESPN, the Fish North Georgia bracket. So if everybody can get in there, I'll do it tonight. I'll create a thing. So if anybody wants to do a bracket, I'll do it and I'll put it out there tomorrow. So, all right, Dalton. So this Dalton, yeah,
Dalton Tankersley.
Dalton Tankersley. I was going to call him
Plug your
Tank.
trout guide.
Plug it. Yeah, your
'Cause you're a
guy. You
trout
do some
guy.
guide stuff.
This
for it,
guy
right?
don't have a real job. He fishes all the time. He's about
So,
to be pro.
Seriously.
He's going to be fishing the damn Bassmaster Elites probably here in about 3 years.
Probably
Probably going to
will.
make the classic next year.
Probably will.
Hammer.
Lordy,
I'm
this
pulling
is-
for you,
we
baby.
we do like it.
Well, I
So anyway,
appreciate
so you want to give yourself a plug?
What
That
you-
sounds like something
You
Blake
need
would
a
do.
you need
You
a
wanna talk
page
about
that's
your-
like Dalton Tankersley.
You wanna
fishing.
talk
You want to give yourself
I've
a
got
hookup?
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah.
Well, I didn't know
I
that.
just started it.
Oh,
What's
okay. Let's hear the plug.
It's just called Dalton Tankersley Fishing on Facebook.
Okay, there you go.
Instagram?
But, no, I don't have an Instagram, but as far as my fly fishing goes, it's on Instagram. It's called Fly Fish Blue Ridge.
Go with him, guys. He
So you
catches
gotta check it
giants.
Yeah.
When we going?
Whenever.
I
We're
know,
gonna
I
have to
gotta-
get Phil on here too.
Do you know how to do? You know how to use a fly rod?
No, but he said he'd teach me.
You do realize with a fly rod, you gotta get the line back and get it over your head
And-
without a hook.
Miss your head.
All right.
Why you gotta be that way? Y'all are
Anyway, hey,
some
listen,
asses.
also that too. Real dog, why aren't y'all masked up? Yes.
Oh yeah, great point there,
Like
Michael.
I said, I made a lot of people mad today because I posted a post because UFC is having an event coming up. There's not a full event. It's down in Florida, and I posted it. Oh, I got DMs for like 2 hours. Why are you supporting us? Because COVID is a bunch of bullshit.
Okay. All right. Well, that's a whole.
And
other
it, hey,
podcast.
hey, and then I,
no,
Yeah,
hey,
you just
hey,
went-
hey, another thing.
Physical.
This is for all
That
you
is like-
this is for all you turkey hunters out there. Don't kill a Jake unless you're a child.
Okay.
Man,
Save that
don't-
for next
man,
Thursday.
don't
Save
kill
it for
Jake.
next Thursday.
But yeah, Michael made a great point. Since
because you're laughing.
Go ahead. Call it
So,
out. Call it out. on the tournament.
Michael made a great point. A lot of people's stimulus money showing up tomorrow, so
Come buy an FX rod.
come
No,
buy
wait,
FX
get that-
rods.
this,
Come
no.
get your raffle tickets for the event, so I can get rid of these things.
Well-
That way, we can get this chapter closed and focus on the tournament.
Is
So
that
you got
good?
what, like 600 left because he gave you 400, right? You had 1,000
I'm
tickets.
Down a little bit less than that because
Yeah, a
I've
little bit
gotten
less than
3
that.
DMs.
There you
in
go,
my,
man.
Perfect.
My DM's been blown up.
They're all
Somebody
in your
slid into your
All in
DMs.
my DMs.
They-
All up in 'em.
Oh,
I
my
wish somebody
God.
slide in mine.
Slide in your DMs.
Somebody who don't want to bitch at
You
me.
got to grow the mullet back.
I know, man.
That's the thing.
That's what I'm
He
missing.
can
That's what
wait.
it's gonna
No,
say.
I'm
he
missing
said
my
when he had
sex
the
appeal.
mullet, they weren't going in his DM, and now they probably are like, "Wow, he
Well,
actually looks
you could be
like
like
a
a lot of
professional."
those people that
I
just
have
bush light
absolutely
beer
lost
can with a
control of my
mullet
show.
on it, on your arm.
I mean, I'm planning on getting a sleeve here. I just got to save up for it. So I
Okay,
might get a
well,
bush light. You want to pay for a
alright.
bush light can with a mullet? I'll do
If
it.
you do that, I'll pay for it.
Deal. I'll shake on it. Hey, we'll put it on
Hold
the
on a
back of my
second. Hold on a
calf.
second, Frank.
We'll do it on the
I-
back of my calf.
I missed that before I was getting ready to close the show. What are we doing over here?
Have you ever seen the people? There's some people in Blue Ridge that get like a
It's a bush light can.
with the, the Pit Viper sunglasses.
No, he's
Gaudy
old,
looking
man.
Sunglasses
Yeah, okay,
everybody
yeah, yeah.
wears. That and a mullet is a bush light can on their arm
With a mullet and a pair of sunglasses.
sunglasses and a mullet on it.
A real tattoo with that.
Yeah.
Nothing says Blue Ridge more than that right there. So that's
Nothing says Marble
No,
Hill.
Fish on
Hey,
the Warriors
I live in
TV
Marble
icon.
Hill. We'll make it a natural ice.
natural. Exactly right. So I'll let the boys have a little fun tonight. It's been a cruddy day.
Do
so,
we have
you know,
to end it? It's
we-
been a good episode,
we
man.
have to end it. We have to end it because I gotta go home and go to bed. All right, so that's it.
I
So
gotta go
anyway,
home and fill out 400 tickets.
Oh man.
that's right.
Thanks,
you
Matt.
gotta do that. So
Hey, me and Danny are thinking of some new content. We're thinking about doing a live fishing episode on Lanier.
we
or
did.
some lake.
We did. Yes, tomorrow from 9 to 5. Fish Hawk tomorrow from 9 to 5. We will be open here at the store tomorrow 9 to 5. Now again, we're thinking about that. We talked to Josh. We're trying to figure out how we can do that happen. So we
Broadcast
can
and
do some.
Would y'all
some
be interested
broadcasting.
in that?
Yeah, they
a
will.
live show?
Because I'm gonna push you off into the water first.
The
chance
hell
I
you
get.
are! It's my boat.
I'll drive you.
Let me
boat
remind
home.
you, it's a-
I'm gonna go out there and whip him and take his boat from him.
It's a long
You're
swim.
gonna have
That's
to
it.
you're gonna have to stand on the other end so he don't hook you.
Oh, I will. Yeah, I know it. That's terrible. I ain't getting nowhere near him on that. So
I don't even know if I can take him with me. I don't like getting hooked.
I'll be in the back
he
of
ain't
the
gonna worry
boat,
about him
man.
hooking you. He's gonna hook
Yeah.
himself.
Lord,
So,
oh God, y'all
all right,
ain't never
so guys,
gonna let me
listen,
live it
hey,
down
we
now.
appreciate you. Yeah,
Lord,
listen, the quality of this episode went downhill sharp there at about hour 45
man,
minute
it's
mark.
been a
but
good episode.
It
you
has
know
been a good, and it's
Had
been one of them
fun.
credit
Great
days here in North.
information.
Yeah, a lot of great information. It's just been a nasty day here in North Georgia. So
You know what I'm
it's good to
thinking?
end up with a lot. What, Blake?
I'm gonna say that. Shut up, Danny. For
Oh.
guys that are interested and maybe going spawn fishing, shoot me a DM. I'd like to take him out. Teach you some of the stuff I know.
There you
I
go.
already told you I'm going. My boat's back up and going. Yeah, so,
All right, so
yeah,
Blake
I know
is
I for
asking
sure got to
dates,
take
so
you.
there you
so.
go. We'll know.
Disclaimer: we are not responsible for treble hooks in the back of your
That's
head.
exactly right.
If
You're
we're
a fish
if
or
we're
Georgia.
bed fishing, there's going to be like 2 rods on the deck of the boat, and you'll be standing next to me. Don't worry.
Okay, so you good now? Did you get that last
I
little
guess,
thing out?
Danny.
Are
Dang,
you- are
I'm
you-
just trying to help you out and grow the business.
I feel a rant episode coming up for Blake here shortly.
Not on my channel. My goodness. I buddy, be honest with you, I done forgot what size you looked at, so you let me know. But I've got just about everything in stock, other than the 710s. I know I need to get some 710s. So got that. So I don't even know who the chick was right there. Irma Rodrigo Cuisabaya. You have a nice one. I don't know who that is.
What about the fit?
So
What kind of girly laugh?
anyway, we guys will see you. Hey, listen, we'll see. What am I doing? Can I wrap it up? We're going downhill. I will see you Thursday night
Come
here at
by,
the same time.
come by,
Hit the-
rod
hit
some
the end
wild
button.
wooga